What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another Lazy Sunday live stream here on Out of the Basement. I'm Nate, joined with Justin,
Sup, guys?
and today we are doing an Ask Us Anything Q&A. And we're also going to be talking about our recent pickups and Alien Romulus as well, because we both saw Alien and we want to talk about it, so we're going to talk about it.
Yep, we'll save that for the end of the stream for
course.
people who haven't watched it and all that. But I'm down to bring back a little movie talk to the streams.
Yeah, I feel like there's, especially right now, there's quite a few movies out that I feel like are interesting and warrant discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe we could just poop all over Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh. And there's also just no Black Series news.
Yeah, realistically, we got nothing for you. So
it's just it's a complete hangout stream.
Yep. We appreciate all of you showing up. 122 people in here so far. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe if you're new, and if you have any sort of questions for us, feel free to ask. For me, for Justin, for both of us, figure related, non-figure related.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to know Justin's deepest, darkest secret?
Uh-oh.
Super chat. You're going to have to super chat us at least $4.99 for that.
I'm actually a TVC collector. This is all a front.
I'm going to spill the beans. And
it's actually forced perspective. These are all 3 3/4 inch.
Yeah.
It's just camera tricks.
It's been green screened the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just an enlarged image behind you, and no one's ever noticed. But let's shout out a few people here. We got Vader X Bricks, who's been a member for 36 months. Hello there, been a minute. Hope you all are doing well. How do you budget your hobby while living with a significant other and paying things off? So first question from channel member Stuart. Appreciate you. Local collector. Always
Very
nice
true.
to hear from you. Justin, how do you budget your hobby while living with a significant other and paying things off?
Well, Lucy and I split a lot of the expenses living at home.
True.
So it's not like all of my budget is going towards just my living expenses.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say how I budget things out is I just select the figures that I know 100% need to be in my collection. And after all the bills are paid, key phrase, after all the bills are paid, we're not hiding figures in the store. I pay my water bill and I take showers.
No.
So I'm not hiding things at the store and waiting for payday. That's kind of pathetic, in all honesty. I have no sympathy for those people, but I focus in on the ones that I absolutely need. Make sure all those bills are paid, and I have a car payment, student loans. But once you just get yourself on that monthly schedule, it'll all work out.
Or as Fig says, get yourself a sugar mama.
That's true. Lucy is going back to school to get her master's, and we're going to get that breadwinner life.
Right.
I'm going to be cooking and cleaning, staying at home, making videos.
Plain and simple. I wish that future for you, my brother. I wish it upon you. Oh, so yeah, I mean, I pretty much do the same thing. Make sure the bills are paid. Make sure I have money set aside for whatever figures may be coming out. It's especially important these days to have that on standby, because you never know when something's going to drop early too. So I feel like in my head, I always keep in mind just the possibility that whatever I have on pre-order might come early. So I always try and have that reserve ready to go.
Yeah.
So I don't get caught off guard, because I've been caught off guard a few too many times in the past. So now I've started to brace for the early impact of a lot of figures, which pretty much happens almost every single release now.
Yeah.
Comes before its release date.
And I combat that, the whole surprise factor, by putting all pre-orders on a credit card. I've said that a few times. And I'm not saying put yourself into debt over toys, but I think for me,
You're firmly advocating putting it on a credit card and never making payments
it's
on
free.
the credit card.
Guys,
correct?
it's free. It's free money. It's essentially free money. No,
You
I'm
don't,
just kidding.
You don't have to pay it back.
Yeah. No, the reason I do that is because I am like a super saver, so I always prioritize my savings account and setting money aside with that, and so I always keep my checking low. So I just don't like the thought of being caught off guard by pre-orders, and that's why I do credit card. And when you do a credit card, it gives you, that month window to budget even further, pay it off, and just it helps me with my overall efficiency of doing that. And you build credit, which is a good idea, especially if you're younger, if you like just turned 18 or something. For me, student loans has really helped me. I bought my own car with a loan. Well, with a chunk of it was with a loan that helped me, but also just using a credit card, paying it off, and always pay it off. Pay it off. Like, don't let the balance just sit in there, because then you'll be getting charged interest and all that yada yada. Like, I don't do any of that. It's always paid off. But it's just the equivalent of, I know I have the money, put it on the credit card, and then pay it off. Build your credit.
Build your credit with figgies, like Justin.
Yeah.
But appreciate that, Vader. Great question. Hello there, Collectibles. Thanks for being a member for 13 months. Also, Brenda Rodriguez, Justin's mother, member for 34 months. OG
34 months.
OG basement dweller with Roro.
Nice.
And she also dropped a $9.99 super chat.
Hey, thanks, Mom.
Mr. Grudge, member for 35 months. Appreciate you. That is some serious support there. Piercing Bullet, member for 5 months. Just left the Fan Expo with Hamel's famous pricing. Shout out to Hybrid Toys video to prep for the con. Nice. Yeah,
Love me some Hybrid.
I was just I just saw the prices on Twitter this morning. I knew they were crazy, but just seeing them again, just like confirming that in my mind. Justin, would you ever pay $400 to get
No
Siggy?
signature? No signature is worth that much. It is the act of writing your name. I'm sorry. I know there's hotels, and I know they travel from all over, but hundreds and hundreds of there's no inflation, but it's not labor. Like, you're just writing your name, and I get it has to be worth it for the person. Mm-hmm. I totally get it. So when we go to horror conventions and their signatures are like $40, $50, I get it, because they have to pay probably for hotels and like traveling and like plane tickets, and it has to be worth it for them to travel to this destination. But the big A-listers who it's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, like, I just know that'll never be a thing for me.
Yeah.
Never.
It's insane. I mean, if you want to drop that kind of money, you do you, of course. But
I think Ian McDermott is probably my max, and he was like 110 at ICC Con. That's probably the most I'd ever spend. And it was the Emperor, and he's from the original trilogy, and
right. I feel like that is an incredibly reasonable price for someone of his stature. And like, obviously I get that, Mark Hamill's going to be a little bit more pricey, but 400? No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Can't do it.
But Bodie, also thank you for being a member for 34 months. Again, as always, the channel membership is the best way to support us here on the channel directly. Mm-hmm. It's super easy to sign up for. There's 2 different tiers. We have a 99-cent tier that gets you early access to Figure It Out. And then we also have a $5 tier that gets you entered into the Wheel of Rebo, where you may win a fabulous Black Series figure free of charge, no matter where you live in the world.
True. It's been happening.
It has, and I'll tell you after the stream, because I have I think I've officially made a decision about a certain figure that may be entering the giveaway pile, and it's a goodie.
Wow.
It's a goodie.
I just YOLO and FOMO buy it all.
Hey, I mean,
Oh man.
I like David coming in with the most hard-hitting, important question of all time. How much free stuff do both of you get for being Hasbro shills? There you go. Nothing.
Nothing. Not even the box.
Pull the magic conch shell.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Where's my Acolyte box, Nate?
Yeah,
Where's my Acolyte box?
I would love to have an Acolyte box. Absolutely. Also want to say what's up to Ivan.
Nice. What's up?
I'm scrolling through, seeing if we got any questions earlier in the chat.
Yeah, I've seen a few. But there's a lot of chat, a lot of chatters.
Mm-hmm. That is true. Darth Mando's asking, have we heard any Black Series helmet news?
I feel like there was something rumored.
I mean, obviously we got the Stranger helmet,
Yeah.
but
Was
you might be right.
rumored TBS figures. I'm looking at yakface.com. There looks to be 3 roleplay items. Rain, which is speculated to be a 501st Clone Trooper, which that'll be dope.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope. Mist, codename Mist, just not sure of the identity of that helmet. And then Waterfall, which is expected to be Balin's lightsaber. Is it going to be?
How are they going to fit it? How are they going to fit it in one box?
Yeah, are they going to make it like super long like the Black Series figure because he uses a two-handed grip?
Yeah. You're going to have to buy a separate blade attachment that clips on to the top of the blade to make it long.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise there's no like new like concrete announcements for helmets.
Going to Chuck E. Cheese.
Ooh, Chuck E. Cheese.
See ya straight.
Oh, dude, have fun. I always have my nieces and nephews. Anytime they have their birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese, I'm low key excited. The last time I went, brother, they had the Halo game. They had Fire Team Raven.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I was sitting there playing that.
Yeah, they have that at Zao Island now.
Yeah, isn't it great?
I'm like, what?
It's awesome. It's unfortunate though because I think they're all the 2-player one, and like remember the one we played was 4. Mm-hmm. Like there was awesome. Love the Halo arcade game. So much fun. But yeah, Wayne Duckett says, "Hey guys, if you had a choice of 3 from each, which 3 Cantina Bar aliens and which 3 Jabba Palace goons would you want?" This is that's tough.
I can do this. Muftak, Cabe, and we're not counting Garen Dan because he's not in the cantina, right? He's only outside snitching on them.
Perhaps, but I would consider Garen Dan cantina adjacent.
Because Garen Dan or Long Snoot, for the Kenner crowd in here, they affect the plot. So I feel like I actually would prioritize that one quite a bit because it affects the plot and moves the story forward. But I also just think Muftak, the Tal's species, Cabe, and I think it'd be easier for them to do like Zutton because they have them in TVC, so they could probably use that digital sculpt and like upscale it.
Right.
So those would be my
okay.
mine.
I like that. I feel like, Wooher would be important, even though technically not an alien, but Wooher would be cool to see.
Yeah.
Even though I made
Lincoln Bio. Get your merch.
Yeah, there you go. Even though I made a custom myself, Hem Dazan would be awesome. Just because first Cantina alien you see pops up right on screen. So I feel like fairly iconic enough to have some solid representation. And then either Wolfman or Laxivrak, either one. Because we need more than one Laxivrak figure, and we just need an Arleal Shoes figure at this point.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Jabba's Palace Goon's really easy though.
I didn't even see that. Sorry.
Max Rebo Band, Efantmon,
Yep.
Weequay.
Very good. Opinions on the Starkiller 3-pack? Love it. Paid full price. But now it's like $50. Or it was a month or so ago.
Yeah, it sold out and then came back at $50 and then I think sold out again. I think it's a good yeah, I think it's a good set. I had no problem paying full price for it. So I'm happy with it, and the fact that it went on discount and people got it for so cheap is, awesome. Good for you guys. How about
don't get me started on this thing.
The Star Tour speeder is like one of the most random. I guess maybe it's just random to me. I don't know how you feel about it.
It's because we're not in the 3 3/4 inch world.
Well, like I do collect TVC, and I get people being interested in the Star Tours vehicle from like a nostalgia perspective, from like, as a kid going to Disney, like that was the original Star Wars ride growing up, at least, for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people. But what's crazy to me is how much it's inflated on the aftermarket already. It was a limited item, so it sold out super quick, but it's crazy that it's already going for over $1,000.
And we learned that there was only 500 put up on the website on that day.
Wow.
So, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I got the ick from this whole thing. There's no better way I can describe it. I got the ick from so many people just with 2 seconds of thought folding and supporting scumbag practices in the community with scalping. The whole toy community is always so anti-scalper until the moment they miss something. Then it's immediately fold, feed the scalpers, and support that practice. There were creators, fellow creators, I won't name any names, but there's fellow creators, immediately fold. Pay
Justin,
$500, $600, $700, $900, $1,000.
Let's look at some eBay sold listings. That'd be fun. Oh, let's pop over to eBay real quick.
You do it. You do it.
All right.
Because you can actually share your screen as a,
right,
or you could do it regardless because you're signed in.
Right, we're on the same account here.
But and I don't know the full context of this because people were saying like, oh, they'll be in the like Disney Springs, they'll be at the parks, like I don't know. Who wins in a fight, grilled cheese or taco? I'm gonna say taco because it has those sharp edges. Yeah, I saw this on Discord. I've been seeing Yord with a red lightsaber. I don't know if it was just the one example, but I have seen that.
Yord with a red lightsaber.
Yeah, someone sent a picture in the Discord. I was like, huh, must be a QC thing. What's up, Turf Little? Nice, that's a great pickup. Love the snow speeder. What's up, Daniel? After the Black Series, what is your second biggest collection? Probably NECA.
Yep.
Did you say NECA for you as well?
I would definitely say so. All right, so here's some Star Tour vehicles. Can you see this, Justin?
Yeah.
Does this look good?
Yeah. Best offer accepted, 1,050.
Yep. 890, 1,000, 180. Whew.
Oh man.
The thing that is crazy to me is just the value, like how it skyrocketed. Usually when something like this sells out, yeah, you see it go for maybe 100 extra, 200 extra, but for this to immediately jump to $1,000, I guess maybe if there's someone in chat, like Just explain.
This was $300, by the way.
Yeah, explain the appeal of this. Like, I get that it's
theme park nostalgia, which also adds a layer of.
I think it's just crazy that.
Yeah.
It is a cool set. I will say, I do think that it's cool. I like the little features. Like, when I saw it, I was like, wow, this looks awesome. But when I saw that it was $300, I was like, that's too much. I was already out at the base price.
And yes, there was only 3,000 made, but only 500 went up on that first day, according to some sources out there. But you guys, I think regardless of how much money you make or how well off you are, I think at a certain point it becomes genuinely absurd. I don't care how much money you make. I think at a certain point when we're so eager to spend 2 to 5 times retail on an already overpriced $300 item, it crosses that line into genuine, like, batshit absurdity. And it's just another thing that gives me the ick about this whole thing is so many people on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Discord even, are using words such as, I'm embarrassed to admit, I regrettably, I caved. It's like they're using that language where I'm like, okay, there might be a problem here. Like, this is almost a little concerning. If you're embarrassed about what you did, you caved, you regretfully so, like, just, I'm seeing these words and I'm like, okay, so it's not exciting. It's like you just really felt like you had to get, it's like literally the definition of FOMO. And how that can lead to some rather unhealthy practices. Because you don't just spend that much and go, yeah, I'm so happy I did this. I'm very excited. The language I'm seeing is, I'm embarrassed. Or it's like they feel the need to explain themselves.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, we might be crossing that threshold into, like, this is genuinely absurd. But I don't want to go on too much of a tangent. I already went on too many tangents in the Discord about this because it's just like people were shaming us for wanting to spend $350 on a Black Series Rancor, but then it's just perfectly fine for people to spend $1,000 on. I'm nostalgic for a theme park ride.
Yeah.
Like, yikes.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Definitely a crazy situation all around, but not Obi-Wan is asking, are we still trying to get Eric here someday? I mean, yeah, of course. Try to get Eric, Mr. Stevie, anybody.
You know, a certain someone, we don't have to name names or anything, but a certain someone was just on a video with some other YouTubers, and they say something along the lines of, like, I really try to go out of my way to interact with the creators and everything. Same person who left us on red, but it's whatevs.
Yeah.
But Eric, specifically, I would love to have Eric on, and we have tried multiple times, so we've quit.
Yeah.
We no longer are attempting to have anyone from Hasbro be on Out of the Basement because you can only send, they tell you to send emails to so-and-so, and then we send those emails, and then nothing. So it's like, there really isn't anything else you can do.
Right.
However, the convention that just happened, which was SDCC, we've had some people from our Discord who are there go up to the Star Wars team, and they claim to watch our stuff. And we talked about that and figured it out. And they claim to have watch our stuff, and they, like, tally our comments, and they look at, like, top comments, and they use that for, like, their market research. So that was cool to hear. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but it was just cool to get that confirmation.
It definitely was. And like I said, we would like to have Eric on, but we're also just not pursuing it actively either. If it happens, it happens.
I am losing the fight with the dust. What is your solution? I never have too many dust issues.
Yeah.
I dust my shelves every, few months, but
Yeah, you definitely just got to do some regular dusting. If your house is super dusty, consider if getting your air ducts cleaned out. It's always a great idea. If you've got a lot of dust buildup, it's more than likely trapped inside those pesky air ducts. So you get those cleaned out, that could help out a lot for you.
sounds like a professional.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a never-ending battle, especially with tiny little collectibles. It's just the way it is. You're always going to have to battle dust no matter what, but just try your best to keep on a regular maintenance schedule.
With these Billy bookcases, they honestly don't get all that dusty. Like, I just rearranged my collection, and yeah, I dusted each shelf, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad.
Yeah, I was surprised when I recently did my major collection rearrange that the shelves weren't really dusty, but it's nice though. But then again, I also, I had my air decks cleaned out, so it makes a difference.
What's up, Arthur?
What's up, Arthur?
Just trying to look for some questions. Do you guys do any world building? Like, you're creating your own city or station with custom characters? We are not part of that side of the community, because I know what you're saying by creating your own city or station, because there's this whole community of YouTubers who have they call them stations, like Skybottom Station. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but it's this whole community of people, and it's just it's not based on something. It's creating your own science fiction world. I mean, I'm sure not everyone does that, but I mean, we 3D print the bar and stuff.
Yeah, diorama pieces. I guess that's probably as close as we would get to doing that, but it's it's all within the realm of Star Wars. It's not like our own thing, so to speak. Spooky Man says, as horror fans, have you guys heard about the new Halloween game they're working on with John Carpenter?
I have not.
Yeah, I vaguely sounds familiar, but I feel like right now every horror franchise it's recently it's Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all the characters in Dead by Daylight. There's a Killer Clowns from Outer Space game.
Yeah.
It's feels like right now we're in this era. Oh, Evil Dead game, where we're
I think it's because Friday the 13th was so popular and it just did so well, and it's an amazing game. We love Friday,
but it's so far none of these games have been able to recreate the amount of joy or entertainment that I've gotten out of Friday. So at this point, while it is enticing that we are getting a Halloween game, I'm also kind of just I'm definitely feeling the burnout of the horror themed, most likely multiplayer, asymmetrical style game. Texas Chainsaw was fun for a while, but the player base died so fast that you couldn't get into a game 2 months after it came out. So
yeah,
it just was unfortunate because TCM did have the momentum, but of course it was made by the same developers, so I feel like it fared a little bit better in that regard.
Yeah. I was waiting for someone to ask about this. Corellian Collectibles. Are you guys selling your collections now that Hasbro isn't renewing the Star Wars license? Yeah, let's hit on. I didn't want to name the video like Hasbro's canceling the black. There's just not enough concrete information to make such a sensationalized thumbnail and title. So I was like, I'm just not gonna do that. But
come on,
there is a rumor by all those 3POA guys and the Bobby Vala who does Valaverse. I am not invested in any of that side of YouTube collecting.
Right.
So I don't watch any of those guys' stuff. But Bobby Vala, previous Hasbro employee, so I'm sure has connections and vice versa. But I think it was a members stream that they did or something like that, where they dropped a rumor that Hasbro would not be renewing their licenses for Disney. So obviously that'd be like Marvel, Star Wars, etc. The first thing I thought of was, why would they be pipelining like things that are so far off if they're not going to renew the license, which is a thing that happens. It's every few years. It's not like an annual thing. It's good for like X amount of years. And they were saying things like the Tanaka sisters was like a send off, like a thank you, like
What?
like something that the community really desired, and that's why they're doing all these heavy hitters that everyone wants. So I'd assume like Super Battle Droid and stuff like that as like the line is ending, so we're gonna go off on a bang. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like they have rumored stuff that has come to fruition before, like the change to the packaging, price increases, yada yada. But I just don't. There is a certain level of jadedness that this guy has towards Hasbro. He is like in that realm of Hasbro hater, I suppose you could call. He's on that side of YouTube collecting.
Right.
So I do not know how credible it is or if it has any validity to it.
This whole situation just reminds me of a few years ago when we were sitting here discussing this exact same rumor the last time that the license was up for renewal.
Every year.
It's every single time the license comes up for renewal. We've been collecting long enough that it has happened a few times during our collecting journey. And it's every single time it's, oh no, Hasbro's not renewing the license. And then what do you know? The license gets renewed every single time.
I just thought it was weird because we got comments about it.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, have you guys heard the rumor of Hasbro not renewing their Disney licenses? And the fact that it was more than one comment, it was like 3, 4, 5 comments. I'm like, there must be some rumor out there. Like someone must have said something. And then I learned later that it was from like the 3POA guys. So I'm like, oh, that's where it came from.
And of course, like a lot of people like Ryan are pointing out, if you watched Bosk's Bounty or Sith Lord's Q&A with Mr. Stevie over the weekend, they talk about figures coming out all the way into 2027. So while you could spin it and say, well, of course they're going to pretend like it's business as usual, it's just kind of like, come on, guys.
Which that is true.
It is
like
true, but
the employees and the boots on the ground would be directed to. I mean, you've sort of been through that, actually.
Well, definitely.
Yeah.
But I think in this particular instance, it's like we've gone through this before.
Yeah.
This same exact situation. I'm sure you could dig back and look at some ancient episodes of Figure It Out and see us discussing this exact situation.
Oh, 100%.
So that's why anytime this rumor comes up, I instantly just dismiss it. I'm totally just like, whatever, it's not going to happen. If it did happen, of course, A, that would be insane. B, whoever would pick up the line, I would hope they would continue a 6-inch line. Otherwise, we'd be cooked if they changed this scale.
I'd be out. I don't want any other company doing 6-inch. Well, aside from the imports, I'm talking a comparable to Hasbro, like Mattel or whoever. Like, nah.
What about Jada, bro? What if Jada did Star Wars?
But can they? What do they do now?
They do like Street Fighter and Mega Man.
Can they do the volume of?
They've done the entire Street Fighter 2 cast, which has never ever been done before in action figure form. Mm-hmm. So they are actually pretty great at completing deep cut. That's what I would say. If anyone was going to get the Star Wars license and they kept 6-inch, Jada Toys would be my pick because their Street Fighter figures are incredible.
All right,
and they go deep. They go deep.
I'll say something crazy.
All right.
I feel like I'd be more upset that we couldn't really do YouTube anymore. I feel like I would be more upset that the YouTube channel would die than I would about the actual figures, because I'm like,
Yeah.
we just got the Super Battle Droid, Destroyer Droid. Let me at least get the Hasbro.
Right.
Let me at least get the Commando Droid before the whole thing goes to shit.
Before the
Like,
ship sinks.
like, please let us get that Commando Droid. But I would commission a few customs, and then I'd be done. And then I would just hyper focus on 3D printing, and I would just go hard with that. That's like how I would pivot my hobby if the Black Series ever ended. And then we'd launch the Minecraft realm, of course.
Yeah.
Then we'd just be a gaming channel.
Yep. Go back to movie content, something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Dante Toy says, but let's be honest, what is the longest running toy line? It's inevitable that it will end eventually. I do agree BS is peak, but is it at a climax?
Nah, they're look at the pipeline. There's still so much good stuff coming, I feel like. There's too much.
I feel like we're going like this right now.
And they're doing it like innovations, I feel like.
Yeah. You know, we're seeing more and more figures with the ball jointed wrists, which is another, innovation in Black Series articulation. So I really feel like right now we're still going like this. Even I didn't think going above Super Battle Droid and Droidica would be possible so soon, but with everything they've pipelined, with what we know what's coming, with the leaks that we've seen, I feel like we're cooking right now. We're really cooking. And even if maybe like the Black Series ended, but Hasbro just continued to do a 6-inch Star Wars line, but called it something else, like they've done with 3 3/4 inch throughout the years. You know, you had your Power of the Force, then you had your Saga collection, then you had your Legacy collection.
Oh no, not Diamond. Not Diamond Select, bro.
Diamond.
Look at their Star Wars. They've done Star Wars,
Right.
Well, within the past few years.
Diamond is doing a good job with the Lord of the Rings figures. I will give them that. But the Star Wars line is dead. And they did 5 completely unrelated figures. Just random character figures. So there was like no cohesion to anything they released.
Yeah. All right, going back to some super chats. Hello there, Collectibles. Gives us a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. What questions would you ask in a Q&A with Hasbro people regarding improvements that could be made in TBS? If I was ever in those little Q&A sessions that they do, I would literally start a text channel in the Discord, and I would collaborate with so many people in there to get I would just craft the most awesome list you could possibly create, because it's kind of hard thinking about that off the top of my head. I'd have to really think about it.
Right.
I would want to know like how they determine certain things, like if this figure gets both blasters and this figure gets one, or like why the whole clone trooper thing, like are they going for a theatrical look, are they going for animation, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't just be an endless thing of when are we getting this character, when are we getting that character. But
Yeah.
we
would definitely try to focus on questions about like the figures themselves, not just, what everyone else asks. When are we getting Dexter Jetster?
Yeah.
He's my favorite character.
I would ask, like, obviously we know they have to make the new media stuff, so how do they determine the non-new media stuff? Like, how much are they looking at wish lists and, stuff like that? Actual useful information.
Right. And who's to say if they would really be able to adequately answer
Yeah.
those things?
Yeah.
Who knows, but at least it would be somewhat more interesting than when are you going to make my favorite Star Wars character?
Yeah. Or like Mr. Coffee is saying, I want to know how they allocate budgets for waves. If it's some sort of mandate from Lucasfilm that figures need to be newly tooled, or if Hasbro also goes with the bathtubber mentality, which is releasing figures with the show.
Yeah. Also, thank you, Eli the Jedi, for the $10 super chat. We pretty much discussed the Star Tours, Star Speeder, so appreciate.
This was older in the chat too,
right?
So.
Just wanted to say appreciate you, and also shout out to Caleb W, member for 22 months, We basically talked about that too. So
Give it to McFarlane.
Yeah, give it to McFarlane. No, no. Ooh.
Yeah.
Jada Toys. Jada Toys is my lock for 6-inch Star Wars figgies. And 49er Brian, thanks for being a member for 3 months. All right, cool.
What small Black Series vehicles would you both like to see if the Bloodfin and Stat do well? I'll give you the 2 that they've talked about doing. This isn't confirmation, but they have the idea floating around the offices. ATRT and Bark Speeder. ATRT, small little chicken single man walker. Give me that clone trooper from Kashyyyk, Revenge of the Sith. And there was an ATRT, I think, in the Mando trailer.
I think, yeah, ATRT, once I saw that in the Mando and Grogu trailer, I was like, oh, that's real. They're like actually going to make that now.
Yeah.
I really do feel like ATRT is locked in with it being in a new media project. I was going to say 2 vehicles from the same movie. Dooku's solo speeder.
Oh, yeah.
And Anakin's speeder when he goes to the Tusken Raider camp.
Mm-hmm.
Just for some fun, smaller speeder-like vehicles. Ooh, the Imperial Patrol officer bike from Solo. Remember, because they kind of like, the figure was like articulated almost like as if it was meant to be able to sit on a vehicle, because it was like one of the earliest figures with like butterfly joints and the way like the hips were made, and it had like boot swivel too, so it was almost like it was made to sit.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be down for that too. That'd be a good one. Easy to do too, nice and small.
All right, I'm trying to skip around so we don't just do like the old chat. Mm-hmm. Your end of life plan. Do you mean like when I die, or do you mean like end game? Like, oh, my collection is complete. I feel like you should specify before we answer that. I mean, when I die, I don't care. Burn it, bury it with me, sell it. It's just plastic. It has no meaning to anyone aside from myself.
Burn it and inhale the smoke. Inhale the toxic plastic fumes.
Dude, don't get Mr. Coffee started on Steve. Mr.
Steve. Mr. Coffee's about to blow a blood vessel.
I do agree with him though, because he always talks about how he hates the animosity between the collectors, but he also follows the 2, like he's saying, the 2 biggest like toy like divisive people in 6-inch and 3 3/4.
You could call them grifters.
Yeah,
we could call them grifters.
Follow, and not only follows them, but also interacts with them, watches their streams. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you realize these people say you need to like jump off a bridge and lose your job, and like they want you starving on the streets. But sure, yeah,
right.
I mean, 100%.
I do want to say what's up to Lukeness. I know he was here a little bit ago. And
nice.
Thank you, 49er Brian, for the $2. I'm doomed. No 9 nub ever. I don't know. I feel like anything can happen at this point in the Black Series with how many fan favorite characters, like long awaited stuff that we've been getting recently. I feel like nothing is off the table right now. The variety that we've been getting from EU and canon and video games and movies and TV, nothing's off the table. Nothing's off the table anymore. And I feel like we're more likely to get 9 nub now than maybe ever. Besides the last 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. That would have been a great time to do it too, Hasbro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and someone... Where is it now? Where is it? No. What IP figures will they sell, or will Hasbro just focus on games? So you have to remember that Hasbro is a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate that has so many things. And you can look at their financial reports for the year. Like, there was like the 2023 one that we were able to look at, and you can see the majority of the money they make is from their own stuff. So like, like Monopoly, Play-Doh, this is the same company who makes like Play-Doh and My Little Pony and that's all the kid product, like the franchised licenses, like, sure, they make a lot of money from it, but compared, like, if you were to look at that graph that was, like, part of that document, like, there's so much more than just, like, Hasbro Black Series. Like, it's a relatively small part of what they do overall.
Right, and they release that yearly report every single year that shows clear as day what makes them the most money, and people will still run with the narrative that, like, Hasbro makes the most money from action figures.
Yeah, it's carbonized. Like, that's the reason why the Hasbro, like, the stocks are going down. Like, yeah, it's because credit collection and carbonized. That's why.
Exactly. So, yeah, Hasbro's a huge company. Action figures for them are a drop in the bucket, but obviously they still enjoy doing them. Corellian Collectibles is asking, what creatures would you feel are doable in 6-inch? I got one for you off the top of my head, Justin, right now. How about the Blurg? TVC.
I wouldn't even want it.
Oh, Toxic Vision came back in, said, when you die, leave it for the fam to get rid of.
Yeah, they can sell it and use that money to... I'll pay for my kids' college.
I want...
with my figures.
You bury me with my Kit Fisto. I'm taking Kit with me.
Yeah. If it's like... If I have, like, a museum of Star Wars with, like, original trilogy diorama, like, it throughout the decades, Nate, if I go, like, super hard with 3D printing and I've, like, recreated the original trilogy with 3D printed dioramas, okay, maybe don't just trash everything, like, document it somehow and then sell it, but document it first.
Right. No,
I'm gonna leave my mark on this planet, damn it.
I definitely agree with you.
Yeah.
Not Obi-Wan asks, do you guys read any Star Wars comics or novels? If you do, what is your favorite one?
Vader, Dark Lord of the Sith comic book.
We sound like
Charles
a broken
Soule.
record, or the Jason Aaron 2015, just called Star Wars Run. Incredible comic book. I like Darth Maul. What is that? Son of Dathomir?
Yeah.
Something like
That's like the Dark Horse one that they canonized.
Yeah, they like, or what's the?
It has Gar Saxon in it.
Is that the one where it's the between the Clone Wars episodes? What Maul comic is that?
When he busts him out of prison.
I thought that was a Marvel
Palpatine,
comic.
Yeah, well, I think it was initially Dark Horse, and then they slapped the Marvel logo on it, and it might be canon, I think.
That's a good one. Book-wise, you've read the Thrawn novel, right?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I've moved on to, like, Song of Ice and Fire. Like, I'm currently reading through the Game of Thrones books, but after that I want to do Dune. So I won't be returning to Star Wars anytime soon.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just harder for me to read Star Wars books. Because I'm like... Usually my want for reading books is I watch a show or a movie and I'm like, I love it so much that I want to go back and see, like, what the real story is. So, like, that's my logic with, like, Game of Thrones. So, yeah, I won't be returning to Star Wars books anytime soon.
Zavi, thanks for being a member. 36 months.
Nice.
Damn. That's like ground zero status right there.
Yeah. Would you ever be satisfied with your collection, even if Black Series continued, but you weren't allowed to buy new releases? Is there a point where you could sit back and look at your shelves constantly? I can do that right now. Let me get the Commando droid. But then after that, obviously I want 9 Numb, I want Lobot, I want the Max Rebo Band, I want the Imperial Gunner. All of those things can be commissioned, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really feel like, and I don't want to say too much because we legitimately have a video that's going to be kind of discussing this topic in a way, but for me, 3D printing and being able to now basically be in a position where I can make some of those figures that I've been waiting for a long time for a reality in my collection even like just a static statue representation like the Max Rebo band that I printed and painted myself. It's like that stuff is like, it's bringing me closer to that feeling of being satisfied, because at this point, you know, we've come to the realization like we aren't, while I did just recently say like anything is possible, the reality is there is going to be a lot of figures that we're not going to get.
Yeah.
And stuff like the Max Rebo band, for me personally, it's hard to believe we'll ever see it in the Black Series, as much as it pains me to say that. So like being able to print stuff like that and kind of fill that void, you know, makes me feel a little bit more satisfied than I had previously before being able to 3D print stuff.
Yeah. Alexander, when can we expect the Savaggio press figure to release? I'm hoping they reveal it at PulseCon, which is around this time next month. I think it's like mid-September. I'm hoping they reveal that. Part of me feels like they're going to do this year's Christmas figures at PulseCon, Nate. I'm like fully bracing for the live stream to have the holiday figures.
Do we know for a fact, are we getting a holiday, like a Christmas, holiday themed wave this year?
It's actually not on Yakface's master list, I don't think.
That's what, and I think that's kind of strange. I'm like, maybe it's a little late in the year.
Yeah.
Are we maybe
You're
not?
right, actually.
Maybe we're not getting a holiday.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list
wave?
of rumored figures. I don't see any.
I'm down to kind of take a break though, Justin. I have all of them. It adds up. It adds up. So I'm down to take a little break.
Yeah.
I mean, three waves in, there's like, you know, there's a good amount of figures to display. So I feel, you know, if we want to take a little break on those, I won't be upset by it. Now it takes up like a whole coffee table display if you want to bring them all out. There's so many.
Appreciate the kind words, Henry. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Henry.
Oh, this is a good question. Renault's 22. By the way, keep the questions coming. I'm caught up on chat. I think I might have only missed like one or two, and I apologize, but there's a lot of chat. But keep the questions coming. We're caught up now, so keep them coming. What do you think the last figure of the wave will be? Yeah, the new wave that just arrived. Very excited of the 7 so far. Apparently, Star Action Figures said that 8th figure was delayed, but how does that make any sense with the case assortment? Like, they're not just going to leave a blank space in a case, right?
Maybe last minute they'll double pack something. I agree with Mr. Coffee though. Retooled Krennic. Retooled Krennic.
Let's see if there's anything new on that. Where is it? It's Grand Admiral Thrawn, Ahsoka Peridea, Imperial Armored Commando, Darth Maul, Cassian, Dedra, K2, and yeah, custom house. It also has a different code name too. It has a different code name compared to the other 7 figures on there. Paddington, Worf, Bond, Mini Spirit, Abby, Farringdon, Liverpool, and Custom House. That's the name. That's the code of the 8th figure, is Custom House.
Yeah, updated Krennic would be great. Ryan is asking, how often do you think they need to do redos? For example, after these new Episode 3 Anakin and Obi-Wan, do they need to do another version of them in 10 years?
I think an endless cycle of...
I mean, I think as long as action figure engineering continues to evolve, then of course. There's always going to be room in my collection for updated figures if I feel like it's worth it to me. That's always going to be the key thing, Ryan, is of course keeping in mind if the figure is a worthy upgrade to you, then it's a worthy upgrade. It doesn't necessarily even have to be anything significant. It's like... right now, when I'm going to my local Target and I'm staring at the Friday the 13th re-released figures with way better, more accurate paint apps on them, and I'm like, do I need these to replace the old ones? Because now these new paint app version, have you seen them, Justin? Have you seen them in Target? The new updated paint apps on the part 6 and 7, Jason?
Yeah.
They look so good.
They do. That's too far for me.
It's
though.
so I don't know, brother. For Friday,
I'm not gonna do all that. I already have the figures.
They look so good.
And plus, like, NECA increased their prices.
Fair.
I'm just like, I'm not gonna pay that much just for more accurate paint. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, NECA.
But you know, I definitely think no matter what, as long as figures continue to get better, of course, there's always going to be room in my display for upgraded and better versions of the figures I already have.
Yeah. I don't think we'll ever get a Bantha, honestly.
I don't think so either, but I would take one.
Yeah, and we both love the Dewback. It's awesome.
Yeah. Dan Darth Educator says, have you guys heard when we will be getting Moma Nedan? People are getting them.
Yeah, it's in stock on Pulse, but
Moma...
I don't really use Pulse. I've been waiting for it to hit my pile of loot.
Yeah, same. I was hoping there would be something else for me to pick up off of Pulse to, like, you know, just make it like a little bit more of a worthy order, but there is just nothing. So
yeah,
I think Wilbon
it's sold out now.
Wilbon has MoMA. Robo has MoMA. So soon,
it's sold out on Pulse.
Soon, MoMA is coming, and that's great. Good.
Yeah,
support MoMA Nedan.
Yeah. 100%.
Darth Trev is asking if I like the band Blood Incantation, and I do. I enjoy them. Not the biggest fan, but when their songs come on my shuffle, I do not skip them. Zavi16 is asking, sup boys, film question for you. How important do you think it is to watch films in cinema? Also, what does film mean to each of you? Happy to have served 36 months for you boys.
As a channel member.
Yes, of course.
Wait a second.
In the basement battalion, bro.
Yeah.
We have them go on secret military missions.
That's facts.
We have a small island in international waters that we stream from now.
Like the hater dude who's like, yeah, I haven't had a chance to troll you guys because I'm too busy sailing to my private island to install electricity. I'm like, sure, buddy.
Uh-huh.
You might think that in your head, but
sailing from your couch to your toilet to talk more shit.
Damn, I like that. We love the cinematic experience of going to a movie theater. We're purists, and I hope that movie theaters never truly die. I love going to the cinema. Obviously, there's still some kinks, like obnoxious people on their phone, etc. But I like the trend that movie theaters have been doing because, as we all know, streaming has and forever will continue to change the industry as we know it. And in order for movie theaters to stay alive, a lot of them have been pivoting to having real food, having full bars, having super comfortable seats with recliners. So it's like more of an experience-oriented pivot.
We did it. We went full tilt last night when we saw Alien Romulus. Me and Paige, we split a pizza. We got the cinnamon sugar pretzel bites too.
Yeah.
We went full tilt, and it was nice. You know, dinner and a movie. And the pizza, I got the barbecue chicken one, Justin. Have you tried that?
We usually get the chicken. Like the chicken tenders.
Oh, okay. You should try the barbecue chicken pizza, though, because when I was eating it, I was like, this would be a Justin banger. I know you like your barbecue chicken, so.
I do. And the theater we have in our area recently reopened under a different company, and they did like the super fancy seating, and they have a full bar. Well, I don't know if it's a full bar, but
it's full bar.
There's a piano that plays itself. It's experience oriented, and I think that's a good pivot to combat the I'll just wait for it to be on streaming crowd, you know. And and it is true, you know, once those lights go down and you truly lose yourself in a film, I'm a big fan of that experience.
As long as there's no jingly keys, babies, people talking, that sort of thing going on, I'm fine. That's my only gripe, but I feel like I've been on a really great streak of people actually being quiet paying
Yeah,
attention.
me too. Me too.
Watching the movie.
Because it's expensive.
Yeah,
so I
that's-
feel like you're losing the boo-boo key crowd.
That's almost what I was going to say was I feel like we're at a point right now, especially at our local theater, you pretty much have to buy your tickets in advance because of the reclining seats. There's just not a lot
There's
of
just
seats.
less seats. Yeah.
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 So you pretty much have to buy your tickets in advance. So I feel like that lends to it being a lot of people that are like, I want to be here. I want to see this movie, not the I'm stumbling in the theater. I just want to kill some time.
Yep.
What's playing?
Yep. 100%. Do either of you have a Star Wars tat or plan to get? I do plan to get one. But
It would be cool.
I don't want to say because it's a bit of a surprise and it's a bit of a celebration for a certain milestone of
Oh
a
yeah,
certain
okay. I forgot
YouTube
about this.
channel.
Right.
So I don't want to go spoil. I have something cooking in the works. I have something cooking, but I will have to travel quite a bit for it. So I have to kind of plan that out.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I will in the future. But right now I only have a Halo tattoo, actually. I have an energy sword on my leg, which you can actually see in the intro of the streams.
That's right.
I
I have no tattoos, if you're curious.
Yeah. I want more. 'Cause Lucy is always getting more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I feel like I want some more. Because I like the look.
Yeah.
At first I wasn't a fan.
Whoa.
But I'm like converting. I'm converting. How long before we get Archive Jesse and Fives? And that kind of goes hand in hand with, do you think Archive is kind of dead?
I do think Archive is dead for the U.S.
Yeah. Because we have A-list. Like, is
Right.
that dead?
We've got A-list. We've got them just putting figures in the Galaxy packaging. And the last two Archive waves we've got were international only with just like random fan channel releases, which I would not actually count as like technical US released versions of these figures. So I feel like in the United States Archive is dead. And even even from a certain point of view, internationally they're dead because the choices for the characters have been asinine, to say the least.
Yeah.
Even for people, on the other side of the world.
Nah, I don't think they'll finish the 96.
No.
There's some real deep cuts in there, like certain like Bespin guards and
You'd have to do like Tessic and
yeah.
all sorts of
I'm in full support
yeah,
of them doing it
100%.
because we're OT first guys, Yeah. How often do you go to the theater? As a fellow ex-movie theater employee, I miss the free movies and being able to just go whenever I'm bored. I mean, that was definitely a perk.
Yeah, when we worked at the theater, definitely saw way more movies. Of course.
I would almost say like I would go to one a week just because I didn't want the pass to go to waste.
Well, yeah, because at our movie theater, it was kind of dumb. Our like ability to go see a movie or not was based on if our inventory was accurate.
And I was the biggest.
It was.
I had nothing to do with it. I was
Yeah.
an usher.
It was so.
I was an usher.
It was so arbitrary because people like Justin and I, we never worked concession. Him and I were usually we were either ushers or we were box office, rarely behind the concession stand.
Yeah.
So it's like, why is it my fault that those idiots back there are misplacing bags of candy when I'm just cleaning theaters?
Right.
So it made no sense.
Collective punishment. That movie theater really is the most strict place I've ever worked at, and I work at a bank.
Right.
And I would like from the bottom of my heart, I think they were more strict at the movie theater I worked at for $7.25 an hour versus the bank that I work at, where we're dealing with people's money and personal information and et cetera, you would get fired for having your phone in your pocket at this place. Like, it was just like looking back, I'm like, wow, I never thought that would be the most strict place that I had ever worked at.
Right. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Ooh. Ivan says, there was a baby crying when I took my girlfriend to watch Deadpool and Wolverine, and then someone told them to shut up and they almost fought.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie,
That kind of would have been awesome.
I kind of like when stuff like that happens. That's such like a bad thing to admit. I like when public confrontation, but it's not me, of course. I'm just like witnessing it. It's like a car accident that you can't look away from, and I just find it hilarious.
So last night during Alien Romulus, there was a little bit of beef for a brief moment.
Ooh.
Two couples showed up. They had the same seats. What's gonna happen?
How does that even happen?
They were like, those are my seats, bro. And the people sitting down were like, nope. They were like, check out look at my tickets. I bought these. Got the usher involved. And the usher came back and he was like, to the people already sitting in the seats, it was so awesome because it was in between trailers. So the theater went dead silent and he went, yeah, unfortunately, you bought tickets for yesterday. So you're going to have to get up.
Yikes.
and either get a refund or and the theater was jam packed. It was obviously Saturday night, 7 p.m. showing. So he was like, yeah, you're going to have to try and find whatever seats are left in here or get a refund. And I was just like, ooh.
Dude, we have one in my town, Troy.
Yep.
I love it so much. They started doing classic horror. They did like Friday the 13th one year. I was like,
they need to do more. They're slacking,
They do need
bro.
to do more.
They're slacking.
And they have like official merch now, and it's like a classic font. Like, I need to buy a shirt bad.
Yeah, we still have a local drive-in. Believe it or not.
Yeah. It's so... What a vibe. What a vibe.
49er Brian, thanks for the $5. He says, love you too. Love you as well, Brian. And I know it's Toy Talk, but have you heard the rumor on Battlefront 3? Wondering your opinions. If we ever got Battlefront 3, that'd be cool. But yeah. I feel like Battlefront 3 is a cursed game. You know, back in the day, Battlefront 3's coming, bro. It's coming. It's right around the corner. And then they reboot Battlefront. We get 2 more, and now we're at the same point again.
Dude, that concept footage...
Right, well,
when
like
I
what
was
they made
so much younger on YouTube, and it's like you don't know what's real or what's not. Like, I'm sure everyone has, well, not everyone, but Xbox 720 on YouTube, and it's like that. Right, it's like the YouTube anthem, and it's like you don't know if it's fake. That was me with like the Battlefront 3 footage. I was just like going from the map to outer space on the ship. What? Like. I was so hoping that was real, which it actually was real, but it just got canned.
Right.
So that was because I was a Battlefront kid, like the classic ones, and it just was a gut punch. It was a gut punch.
Yeah, but still, would love to see Battlefront 3. Although Battlefront 2 is still alive and well, honestly, and the classic games are still alive and well, as well.
Bro, what? The bank I work at only just asked us to have our phones on our desks at work, and that was only because someone was caught live streaming their shift. You work with like an IRL streamer? Or like, come with me and work.
I mean, there's like a whole weird like subgenre on TikTok where it's like people working. Like every once in a while I'll get like, it's like a McDonald's worker with like a GoPro strapped to their chest, and they're just like making sandwiches. So I feel like it's almost like this weird subgenre of video now where it's like people are live streaming their job.
Yeah. I would not go that far. Because there's like things on the screen that I feel like I would be put in prison.
Yeah, I feel like live streaming your shift at a bank is crazy.
Like just like casually like account numbers, socials.
Exactly. Like, you have people's the most sensitive information you could possibly have, and at any moment you could legitimately accidentally show it. Like, bro, what are you doing?
Yeah. Not Obi-Wan. To answer this question, I'm going to paint you a picture. If Nate and I were in the Star Wars universe, we are literally a spitting image of Han and Chewie. Because You don't understand. And figure it out. We like heighten our chairs. Nate shortens his to make us look like we're of a similar height. And that's just for framing. It's not because I'm insecure or something. It's for framing purposes. But Nate is significantly taller than me, and he has muscle mass as a result of his job.
Fair.
And I am I am not coordinated. I'm book smart, okay? I'm book smart. We'll just leave it at that.
Justin's the handsome bookworm.
Oh man, that's funny.
Yeah, we'll fist fight at ICC, and
let's do it.
It's gonna be a live event. Like, this is gonna be our breakup.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Oh no. Oh
shoot.
No.
Dream HasLab, Justin?
No price issue, no resource issue, no spacing issue. Dream 6-inch HasLab. If space wasn't an issue, I could do whatever I want.
A 100% accurate Jabba's Palace diorama, including a real Rancor pit with the HasLab Rancor inside of it, and including the entire cast of Jabba's denizens in 6-inch.
Give me a better version of the cantina that could work on a shelf and include a bunch of characters. Like, do like 20.
Yeah, like, it has to be something crazy. Like,
and make it like $1,000 or something. Like, I don't know.
Like, just load it up with 20 figures they would never ever do. Give us the Black Series sail barge with including 2 skiffs and all the characters that are on the barge. That'd be great.
Yep.
Justin shot first.
Yeah, that's facts.
Work 87. I just got off an 87-hour unpaid shift.
Justin got soft hands.
You got soft hands, brother.
No, it is true. I have the computer. You know, sometimes I get that tingle in my fingers.
You could see my baby calluses. I don't have bad ones, but I got my little baby. My little baby.
I mean, look at that. Like
my hands are pretty soft. Let's be real here.
I'm waiting for that vid.
Yeah, this is our dynamic. Justin writes checks and Nate cashes them. Yeah, Death Star, fully scaled Death Star. It's just in your backyard.
I feel like a 6-inch Death Star would be the size of like Britain.
It would be
be like the size of a country or something.
Definitely like the size of a city.
Someone should do the math on that. How big would a 1/12 Death Star be?
Yep. Took my extensions out. Trimmed the facial hair up.
I don't know of a pizza place in Indiana where a toy train brought your drinks, but I've been to somewhere like that in Wisconsin Dells. I don't know about Indiana.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar to me. I'm not sure.
A redo of the Imperial Shuttle, that'd be huge. Yeah, X-Wing. Yeah, that's just keep it simple. Give me an X-Wing. Like, if so pricing isn't an issue or size. Because I feel like they have to do the X-Wing. But they won't.
Yeah, it's Pizza King. I know of Pizza King. I've never eaten at a Pizza King. There was one in my grandma's, in the city she lived, a couple hours away, closer to like Lafayette, Indiana. But I've never been to Pizza King. I've heard of it though.
Yeah, Wild Bill's, that's what it was in the Dells. And it brings there's a train, and it's connected to like a arcade and all that. Yeah, I've been there a few times actually. Where my lap bro's at. I don't even think that'd fit on the top of my Billy. It wouldn't because the wings. No.
No way.
I don't even know where I'd put that.
Tony says it would have...
Oh, Mr. England over
yeah,
here.
I'm like, Justin, I don't know what kilometer...
That would be...
Here we go. Oofy. Thank you.
miles.
437 feet. Not bad.
I feel like it'd be bigger than that. How long is a football field? There's no way it would only be 400 feet. A Star Destroyer. I thought you meant Death Star. Never mind.
Oh, yeah, Star Destroyer.
Okay, 3.52 kilometers would be 2.187 miles here in the United States.
Roughly the size
Use
of
a kettle.
Manhattan Island.
Use a kettle.
We got Alexander coming in with Chat GPT.
Why don't we have a British person send us a kettle to our P.O. box?
Yeah, we need an electric kettle to boil my water. Like the guy in the Alien Romulus. There's something in the water.
I'm not going to lie. I did think of that.
There's something in the water. Did you watch the Red Letter Media review?
Not yet. Not yet.
Mike has a little bit with there's something in the water. They
Nice.
actually shit on the movie, which I thought was kind of crazy because I did not think it was bad at all.
Yeah, I didn't think it was bad. Yeah. Mr. Coffee trolling.
Language barrier. That's right. Collector. There's something in the water.
I like the Squidward. Have you ever seen the Squidward meme where it's like when a British person sees a drone in the sky, but it's like, drown in it. Drown in it.
No, I haven't seen that.
That's a funny one. Tyler's Tenders has a train that delivers your food.
Ooh.
All right, all right. I don't even know what that is either. How come you never took me there for my birthday?
Yeah. Is it like Cane's?
Dude, I always forget that there's a Raising Cane's super close.
You're dangerously close now to a Cane's, brother.
Yeah, let's see.
I'm so jealous. I mean, not that it's that much further away, but, you know.
Right.
Yeah, Paige and I were planning on having a little trip out there soon. Go to the outlet mall and
Yeah, I was going to
have
say, because
some-
you kind of have to...
you want to do something when you
'cause
go
the
all the way
area-
out there.
The
Yeah.
area that it's in is just... there's not a... Like, there's no Target.
Right. We went to what? We went to a Ross. Right?
Yeah? Like a TJ Maxx-ish thing. TJ Maxx and...
Yeah, but we should go up there. We should hit the outlet mall, get a fit, and then hit Raising Cane's and get that box combo. Substitute the coleslaw for an extra slice of
Bon
that
Bon, breaking my
wonderful
heart.
Texas toast.
Cane's is not mid, bro.
Yeah, you're crazy, Wilbon. Cane's is not mid. Not mid at all. But you know what is mid? I'm sorry, 49er Brian. Well, I mean, if you're buying, Brian, I'll eat Five Guys.
Yeah, I actually can't do burgers. I'm just off burgers. That's just, I don't know what it is.
That's kind of shocking for you. You were like the literal Burger King.
Like restaurant style burgers, I can't. There's just something about, I don't know if it's greasiness or something about the meat or what it is, but I go out of my way to get something else other than burgers. Yeah. Oh, you know what's funny is someone asked a Hasbro person at SDCC about HasLab Black Series. Ooh. And he said it's not off the table. And they even said the Rancor wasn't off the table.
Right.
Or like never say never. I mean, I'm sure that's just like you have to keep it open-ended and you just like can't say anything definitive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like with how close it was, if they just did a little bit of reworking on it, it would be successful upon a second run. And I feel like there's always the potential because, you know, they did technically go through the trouble of like making a mold and a prototype, so it kind of already like exists in a way. So I would do it. Burgers are great though. I'm still I'm not there yet, Justin.
Yeah.
I'm still
No,
slamming burgers like no tomorrow.
Right. No, the Rancor was very, very close.
It was so close
It was
that
a few hundred.
I do genuinely believe it would be successful if they did it again.
Mm-hmm.
Wilbon is saying we need to try Cookout. I've never heard of that.
I thought he meant just like cooking your own food. I'm like, well, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Of course. Of course. Patrick is on the Nerf team.
Yep. He's doing the Nerf entertainment. He's doing Nerf expressions. Oh,
Hey.
Cherville?
There you go.
All right. Okay, Mom.
1/12 diorama's not in the pipeline, but also not off the table. I honestly do not want dioramas.
Keep it the vehicle or creature.
I hate to say it, but now that I have a 3D printer, I do not need dioramas from Hasbro.
And they'd be too big. They would
Yeah.
just be way too big. I mean, if we're talking...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. You go.
I was just going to say, or the alternative is they'll cheap out and they'll use like some pieces will be cardboard, some pieces will be plastic.
Yo,
You know,
yikes.
I could see them doing that. So I'm like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Fast food place, it's cheapest and it slaps. I mean, I would love to try it if there was one around here.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this.
Yeah, Rancor was just bad timing. Totally agree, Troy. And of course, Chris, as long as Landspeeder Luke decides to make them, absolutely. But there are also other creators out there.
Charvies.
Charvy creates plenty of wonderful Star Wars dioramas as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I agree. Keep the dioramas in TVC because I just think they'd be way too big.
Yeah, I just don't. I think they would either be way too big or they'd
would
be
be small and then super expensive.
They'd have to cut too many corners. I don't think something like that could work for a mass market 6-inch. And realistically, like, Sam, just pick up the bamboo P1P. You'll be really happy with it. Great investment for your collection.
Mm-hmm.
I ran out of brown, man. I need one more wall for my trash compactor dio, and I ran out of brown.
Yeah.
Gotta wait for it to come in.
Yeah, that's like kind of a pet peeve comment is people who just don't understand scale or people who don't understand price of custom made pieces. Because there was someone, what were they talking about? They're like, I'm going to commission a custom the Droideka. Like someone randomly commented on the Droideka and they were mad that it couldn't go into full ball mode.
Which
Like
it kind of can.
And we show that in the video.
Yeah.
That everyone has sort of a different way of doing their own ball mode. And I'm like, so you're going to commission a custom Droideka, which would be 100% from the ground up, brand new, all of those separate pieces with more sculpted detail, more paint, and more articulation.
Right.
And they specifically said for around the same cost.
Right.
Like, brother, you realize if you wanted to buy a custom piece of cloth for a cape, you're already spending more than the figure. Like, go to, like, Josh's custom capes or whatever. You're spending, like, how much for a piece of cloth?
Yeah. I mean, even on the cheaper side of pieces like that, cheapest cape you can get is around $20 from someone.
And it's a piece of cloth. So imagine a fully new figure that has more sculpted detail, articulation, and paint. And people always say that. Mm-hmm. There's always a comment about, I could do this for cheaper. It's just like the guy who did the Rancor, and I forget their name, so I apologize, but they went on Black Series Cantina, and they asked him, like, if someone were to commission this, the pieces, the time, the paint, and everything, and he'd be like, oh, like $1,000 easily. Mm-hmm. And that's less articulation, than the Hasbro one. It looks beautiful and it's amazing and it's a great piece. But no. No. Not possible.
But yeah. So Justin, you want to maybe do some recent picks here?
Oh yeah, I have some.
Me too.
For a change. I have some every week. What am I saying?
That's true.
Because I'm addicted.
You are. You're addicted to collecting.
Yep, we'll go ahead and shoot on over to Jabba's Palace.
Jabba's going to let that 40 bang. Bow, 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 bow.
There he goes. There he goes. All right, I'll go first.
All right. All right.
I'll go first.
All right.
So, I went to Ollie's again, but your Ollie's.
Bro is addicted to Ollie's.
I'm addicted to Ollie's. I went to your Ollie's this time.
How's my Ollie's look?
Because I went to, we'll call it my Ollie's last week.
Uh-huh.
Which was stacked. Got the holiday figure. There's a bunch of Death Watch Mandos, it was one of the most stacked Ollies I've ever seen. Went to yours, and it was stacked again.
Ooh.
Your Ollies is stacked. So I finally got my last Figure and Dan for $9.99. And I have a full band, as you can see right here. Full band, and my definition of a full band is 6 because there are 6 instruments. I didn't want to double one up on the worst instrument, which is the shortest one. But with Landspeeder Luke's new 3D printed upgrade for the bar, he took this photography, and it's on his Instagram, and I was like, man, he did such a great job filling out the bar in Black Series. And he, in one of them, was just using a Figurin' Dan as a patron. So just giving a Figurin' a cup. And like, cheers, you know. So I was like, I'm going to do that. It's a Cantina alien. And there actually is a Bith in the scene who, he has the night off.
Yeah. He's got like a tan robe on.
Yeah, so maybe there's some custom potential or something.
Want me to paint that tan for you?
Yeah. So I got my final figurine just to do as a bar patron.
That's awesome. I'll have to check out my Ollies then and see what's going on there.
Yeah, the only thing they didn't have is the Holiday Purge Trooper. I think they had everything else. I
did see that some Ollies are getting the Walmart exclusive Bucky Barnes Captain America, and I'm like, ooh. So that's kind of what I'm on the lookout for.
You need to go. Especially right now. They have tons and tons and tons of stuff right now.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll check it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. And of course, Figurin's also in our top 10 of all time.
Great figure.
Then I got an Amazon package. I'm supporting my women, Nate.
Dude, I was so happy to see you finally ordered one of these figures. I was like, thank you, brother. I mean, Bix is a cool pickup for sure.
Yeah. So this was Amazon, I think, $14.80. Although these two figures, it's Bix and my next one. I had a bunch of credit card points because my credit card it translates them to Amazon money. So I got a free package, essentially, using my credit card points. And so we got Bix. So I officially have every Andor figure now.
Nice.
So, and I rewatched Andor, and it's just such good Disney Star Wars. You guys know I've been glazing that these past few weeks. But it's just so cinematic, atmospheric, rich character depth. Love the dialogue. Grade A monologues. So we got Bix. I wasn't going to get her because she's so scene-specific. But then I was on the Andor hype train. I was like, I'll pick her up.
Yeah, you might as well at that point when you're so close to just having them all.
So we got
Dude, it's going to be a bottle of steak sauce.
Yep.
You already know.
So we'll go ahead and open some PFP. See what we got. Whoa. Is that her only accessory?
Yeah, I think she just comes with her iPad. Hey, it's got a sticker on it.
Yeah, so they could do
Nice.
that for her, but not Dead Ramiro.
Wow. And Dead Ramiro's probably got more reuse than Bix does. Really, Hasbro?
I'm quitting this damn line.
Selling my entire collection except for my Bix Kayleen.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. What do we have, guys? Uh-oh.
Dude, it's LeBron. It was fig swapped
Yep.
with the starting lineup.
This famously has one of the best photoreal likenesses of last year.
It does go hard. That
a
likeness
Q-
is
that a
crazy.
QC?
How's the shine?
Looks like it got the matte spray.
They got the memo. Dude, and a new tool, and she got the matte spray, and she got a sticker on her iPad. Bro, Bix
Wait.
should be deluxe.
Wait, is that a blaster? Or no, never mind.
No.
That's just...
Dude,
look at the
Bi-
paint and detail, bro.
Man, Bix Deluxe confirmed. What is
Why does
this?
she have more paint on those little pieces than Cobb Vanth?
Bro, for real. Bix has more paint apps than Cobb Vanth.
Sure.
Mr. Covey says Hasbro going crazy on the likeness for mid figures.
Yeah. So she'll just stand up on the... Andor's like all the way up there. Right here. There's my Mon.
I see her.
Yep.
Did you give her a cup?
I didn't. I got to print. Or I got to
Really?
buy like the wine cup or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Bix Kayleen.
Nice.
No,
Now this
Like I
this
said, I'm
is a pickup.
supporting my women.
Now this is a pickup.
Supporting the women out here, all right? I
Yeah.
finally got the last Dune figure I needed from McFarlane.
Oh! Are you kidding me, Justin? He's picking up McFarlane. Bro, wait till you see my recent pickups this week.
I had to take a sip. But yeah, Lady Jessica. This is the last Dune figure I need. Got my little display right here, minus my little Xeno for the occasion.
I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, but she'll be neat to... I think... You know what I'm going to do? Because I've been rearranging my whole display, so I stole their hexagon stands. Because I needed the black ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to print some, like, desert tan hexagon stands for
All
the
right.
Dune figures.
I kind of
So-
thought about using some of the terrain prints
Oh,
that Luke has made that are
Yeah.
like elevated.
Yeah.
That would be sick with the Dune figs.
I love that. And, of course, it comes with a Build-A-Figure of Raban, but they also packed him in a 2-pack with Gurney, and then Wilbon gifted me that pack, so I don't even need to complete the Build-A-Figure.
Did that Raban come with those weapons?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
The whip.
The whip and the
then
sword.
The sword.
Nice.
49er.
Yeah, of course we got to have the Emperor. He says, Paul, the spice is nice, baby, but come on. You got to give up the jihad.
We say all this stuff about, like, guy in clothing figures, and then I'm out here buying Christopher Walken with a brown, like, tunic on.
Okay, but at that point when we were buying the Dune figures and we were getting down to the wire, it's like, why not just get Christopher Walken?
Yeah.
You do also need what's-her-face, too, the Shishaka Laka.
Yeah. That's kind of in a pricey 2-pack, though.
Yeah, I just got lucky when it was on sale on McFarlane's website.
Yeah, but I love Dune. My newfound love. It's better than 99% of modern Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Miles better. Mike, you should watch it.
Yeah, don't be so edgy, Mike.
It's better than the Acolyte, brother. It's better than Kenobi. It's better than Book of Boba Fett. It's better than everything.
David Lynch's Dune is better than all of those, and people are like, "Oh, David Lynch's Dune is so bad."
But yeah,
Dave-
that was it for me.
Nice.
I've just been, dude. It's been a process. You can't see all my stuff down there, but it's a nightmare because I've been redoing the display. I gave Star Wars, Empire, Return. They're each getting 2 shelves each, and I'm doing Phantom Menace gets its whole shelf. So
Hey.
obviously you can see there's a lot of blank space for the Bloodfin and the Stat. Right behind my head, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, and then 3 for Clone Wars in a row. Because I want
Cloner.
the stuff I like. Look at Mandalorian.
Cloner.
How far Mando has dropped.
How far you fallen?
Look how far. Oh, and I'm finally going to display my Snowspeeder.
It wasn't on display this whole time.
It was all the way up there, and I couldn't see it.
Oh, right.
It was
right,
like
right.
just all the way up there, and looking up, you can only see the bottom of it. So,
I agree. Cloner.
I 100% agree, Mr. Coffee. People claim they want... People hate on Star Wars, and I'm like, and they have all these criticisms. I'm like, you're describing Dune, brother. You got to give it a chance. And then they watch it, and then
That shit boring, bro.
shit boring and sad. Not enough action. Mother.
I gotta watch Avatar: Quest for the Air or Water World. That's true sci-fi, brother.
Yeah, where's TIE Fighter? It's in the hallway. Because I'm like redoing everything.
It's so
And
big it has to be moved into the hallway.
No, it's gonna come back after I'm done setting everything up. But I'm gonna sell it, $100.
There you go.
I know I said a few months ago I'm not selling it because it's the novelty, and then you guys said let's give it a few months and then he'll sell it. Here I am. I'm gonna sell it because why do I have it? It's sequel trilogy, and the more I thought about it, Nate, it's bigger than an Imperial TIE because the Imperial TIE is a single man fighter. That
True.
First Order Special Forces thing, it houses 2 people in it. I'm like, it's not even the same design. Obviously, it's not because it's black instead of the majority is gray and then with black accents. It's like a reverse.
That's right.
And then with the red, and I was like, I'm not a fan of the sequel trilogy. I need to commit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I can't care about something like that. Like, oh, it's just cool to have the largest Black Series thing ever created, which it is cool. It's a neat piece.
Yeah.
But it's freaking insanely large, and for something that is ultimately sequel trilogy, it's not worth it.
I don't think you're gonna miss tripping over it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, because people have asked me in the Discord, I'm not shipping it. I'm just, I cannot ship it.
Shipping would be dummy on that.
If someone, maybe I can bring it to ICCC in my trunk.
I'm bringing figgies for people to ICC. I've been giving people choices.
Yeah. I might do that. Although it'd be such an easy Facebook Marketplace sale because there's so many collectors in our area.
List it for 100, but take 80.
Yeah, and oh, something just fell.
I heard it.
What was it? Something just fell. Where is it?
I don't know.
Oh, it was Rebels Ahsoka.
Maybe it's gonna be the chainsaw again.
It was Rebels Ahsoka. Soldiers last year. Yeah, it according to Action Figure 4-in-1, it's worth about 100. So I'm fine to get a honey.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I'm officially, I have a sell pile, guys.
Whoa.
I have a sell pile. Balin, Shin, Cobb Vanth, Unarmored.
Yo.
There was something else that was pretty desirable. I have a few things.
Sabine, Hera, Ahsoka, Tiny Feet Gang.
Yeah. Get a... Yeah, I will.
Yeah. Tell them you want to see
starting
that.
with that. We're starting up the fun. We're less than a year out from the wedding. So
We're also only a couple months away from ICC.
yeah, so I gotta start. I gotta do a big sell for ICCC, which we're going every day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Woohoo! You guys should all come too. We actually have to get on like doing a hotel with Zach. We gotta like communicate with Zach about that soon.
Yep, that is true. We gotta pick a place to stay.
Yeah.
So for me, lots of
What you got?
it's a McFarlane week, brother. It's a McFarlane week.
All right, I'm out.
He's leaving. I'll start things off with the Batman Forever wave, which recently came. And I opened up Robin. And this is not a good figure. I'm actually I'm kind of disappointed in it. The wired cape is nice. But
Right.
I feel like the colors are really out of whack if you know what this costume actually looks like in the movie. And it's just kind of, it's really, the ankles are killing me too. Because it's like, you could either press it forward. It's got these weird ratchets. So like the posability on his ankles, it's kind of not great. But here is Robin. And I got these off of GameStop. And so I haven't opened these yet, but I did get Val Kilmer Batman, which again, like look at how blue the Batman costume is. It looks really bizarre. Like the gauntlets and the cowl are black, but then the entire costume is blue. I don't think that's how it looks in the movie. I've seen Batman Forever 100 billion times. I don't think that's how it looks. So that's kind of weird. However,
Todd, what are you doing?
Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face is a banger.
Ooh.
It looks so good. They did a great job representing him. No gun, of course. No gun.
Because it's going to make people violent.
Yeah. So, still waiting on the Riddler. But overall, Batman and Robin seem to be actually kind of disappointing. But Riddler and Two-Face look like hot fire. So I am excited to get Riddler at the very least. And then I actually won the McFarlane raffle, this past raffle they did, because I don't know if anyone's familiar out there, they'll do like little raffles for Platinum Edition figures. And I always sign up for them to try and get them. Never win, but this time I actually did win, and it was for the Batman Dark Knight Hong Kong Skydive edition. And what makes this different is this has a wired soft goods cape on the Dark Knight Batman body. So you know this figure is going to be banging. I can't wait to get it open. And I was so happy that I actually finally won one of these damn things, and it was for this figure because I've been trying to hunt this for a while and I've been really unsuccessful. And so to be able to have it finally is great. I'm happy. I was like, I couldn't believe I won. I've signed up for so many of them and I've never won.
That's awesome.
But yeah, Bender, I have some straps lined up for Two-Face. I'm going to see which works best. I've got this revolver from a Sin City figure. I've got this little pistol with a blast effect here. I don't remember what that's from. And then I've got some different stuff like this one-handed shotgun. And then Joker's weapon from Dark Knight. The, what is this? The little automatic machine gun, which I think I need to give this to my McFarlane Joker, actually. Because this is
is that from the scene where he's like, I want you to do it, I want you to do it?
Yeah, but this
Yeah.
was from the Mattel figure. So
Okay.
it's slightly smaller, but
Come
yeah,
on.
I'm actually going to do that. Because right now I have my Joker posed with a bazooka. So, is that a bazooka?
Yeah. I love the old clone body, Nate. I think it's peak.
Great
I
articulation.
love it. You see those two pins? That's the maximum bend right there. I just love the old clone body. And I love that they're continuing to use it, such as the Jedi Fallen Order 3-pack. It's just peak.
Peak.
But I mean, they also. How much money do you think they spent doing soft goods on this figure, Nate? But they can't give Ahsoka her cloak.
Pennies. Well, since it's such high reuse, they were able to afford it in the budget. But I do have a couple more pickups. Two more, Justin. Two more.
I mean, you're good. I just wanted to show off
No.
my nutcracker.
I managed to find this on the peg, swinging in my local Target, and I was very excited because this is the new Target exclusive Carnage. Marvel Legends. It's basically the same Carnage figure from a few years ago, but he's got a new head and new accessories.
There will be carnage.
And it was awesome to see this swinging on the peg because
Hey.
I could not secure a pre-order for this online. It sold out super quick, so finding that in store was dope. And Justin, you know me. You know I'm a toe dipper. So I'm dipping my toes into a new line. And I got a Simpsons figure.
Oh, snap. Who's that from? Jazzy?
It's Bartman. And this, let's see, who makes... It's Jax. Jax is making the new Simpsons figures. And they're 5-inch scale, but they look like they might be some fun. So I wanted to dabble in Walmart. I believe this is a Walmart exclusive. It's Bartman, so, it's a fun episode, fun version of Bart. So I wanted to try it out. I love dipping my toes.
You do love dipping.
And they're only $13, so it's always a nice price.
I need to get one of my cups.
Yeah. Get your cup. Get your cup. Dunga dunga dunga. Beep beep beep. Beep beep beep. Beep 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 beep. Oh. Hey Bart, man, who the hell are you?
Whoa.
We got Bart.
This bar is lit, man. Oh, you guys can't even see it. Dang it. Oh,
whoa.
You can. Kind of.
It is lit.
Bumba 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 bumba. Gunga 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 gunga. Bum banana bum banana banana. Notice I'm using Cantina Band Song number 2 because it is superior to Cantina Band Song number 1. People in the Discord don't agree with me.
What?
Look, number 1 is better because it's the one that everyone knows. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Number 2 is superior. That is why Black Series Cantina uses it as their theme song. Alright? Number 2...
That's facts.
...is better.
Bro, rolling wheels on Bart's skateboard. All 4 wheels roll.
Attaboy.
Dude, can you believe it? That was in the budget.
Yeah, this is how I want him. I want him... Cheers. Cheers to the modal nodes. I just love this figure. If they would have had butters, I feel like they would grip the instruments better. Especially like, people are going to hate on me now. What's the big one called?
What do you mean? Nolan Cheel?
Yeah, the instrument that he uses.
Oh, Omnibox.
The Banfill?
Yeah, I don't know. Omnibox, Banfill.
I think it's the Banfill. That's the one where I feel like if they would have included butters, he could hold it better. No, he does not have butters.
Yep.
He has the ball jointed wrists, which help.
Yeah, they sacrificed the butters for the ball joint.
Yeah, no butts. No butts.
Firmly grasp it. Here's Bartman on his skateboard with his slingshot.
Wait, why did my lights shut off? Did I put them on? Are they motion?
You put them on off, bro. Oh, he's got the motion light. Ooh. Butters. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right.
Those are my recent pickies.
All right. Well, good session.
I agree.
Good session. Let me find a wallpaper for Alien. What time are we at? Hour 52. Yeah, this is a good spot. Ooh, this is cool. Alien wallpaper. Let's add it. Let's do it. Yeah, so we are going to be doing a little movie talk about the new Alien movie. Alien Romulus. We're gonna talk about it because we love horror. We love Alien.
Yep, Alien is a peak franchise for us. Well, some of the entries,
Like two movies.
are peak. Maybe 3.
Yeah, it's a franchise that I love, but even though the bad ones aren't offensive, it's just it hits different. This franchise hits different for me. No matter how wild of a swing they take, I'm able to get something from each installment. So even like Prometheus, I don't mind it. Even Covenant, I don't mind it. I know everyone hates Covenant.
I really enjoy.
You want to do spoilers, right?
Yeah, we might as well. I feel like there's no reason not to.
All right.
I feel like for Prometheus is great. Covenant fell flat for me. I know you and I kind of feel differently about Covenant, but I'm right there with you. I feel like for the most part, like Alien 3 I can enjoy. Alien Resurrection I think is a blast. AVP 1 is highly entertaining.
AVP is just it's like that mid 2000s like point of time where everyone was obsessed with franchises clashing, like Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus Predator. Like it was just that little stint, just a weird little fling that they did in like the early or mid 2000s. And I agree. I think Alien versus Predator, it's stupid. It's a dumb movie, but I can have fun with it. Now, Requiem, Garbo.
Requiem is tough to... It's like Wolf Predator is cool, the Pred Alien is cool, but the entire movie is ass.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting franchise, but obviously Alien and Aliens are amazing movies, like legitimately incredible.
Yeah.
Especially Alien. I think the original film is a masterpiece. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It is just an incredible example of sci-fi horror and still has a really tough time being topped all these years later.
Yeah, and we're both in the boat of preferring Alien to Alien. And that's simply a result of our taste for horror.
Right.
It's very, very similar to Terminator and how we prefer Terminator over T2 Judgment Day by a pretty significant margin, I would say. Both are awesome, of course, but by a pretty significant margin. So real quick, just in case you want to do a spoiler-free thing, here's my... I'm going to read it off my Letterboxd.
Okay.
Follow me on Letterboxd for all my movie takes.
We both have Letterboxd.
Spooky season number 1. because mid-August is here, and that is it is officially upon us. So I say mid-August is officially here. Kickstarted this year's season with the next installment of the Alien franchise. Thankfully, they return to atmospheric horror and tension. Fede Alvarez is a director I'm a fan of, and that is, of course, because of mostly Evil Dead 2013, which Nate and I both love a lot, but I also really like Don't Breathe.
Yep.
I also thought Kaylee Spaney and David Johnson did a nice job. I've had my eye a little bit on Kaylee Spaney from Civil War earlier this year.
Oh, okay. I was like, man, she looks familiar, but I couldn't place it. Okay.
So, which I liked Civil War, and so I'm a fan of her now. Two pretty big movies in, and David Johnson, who plays the synthetic, also did
Andy.
a very nice job. Continuing my Letterboxd review, I do go on to say, unfortunately, I do get some heavy been there, done that vibes, and I'm never a fan of on-the-nose callbacks. The third act has been controversial and pretty divisive, but I was actually a fan of the concept, and it got into some like body horror type stuff I was a fan of.
Yeah.
I did go on to say I don't know if I'd ever get the urge to watch it again, and it might be a good one-time watch. However, I feel like this might be one of those movies where the more I let it sizzle, I feel like I'm going to like it more the more I sit on it.
Yeah. And just, again, spoiler-free thoughts at the moment. I think it was a highly entertaining movie. I was completely engaged throughout the entire film. Although I feel like it definitely suffers greatly from the callback syndrome. Elements of Alien Romulus reminded me a lot of Halloween 2018.
Yeah.
Whereas it plays almost like a greatest hits of the entire franchise. Like you do have you got a little bit of Alien. You got a little bit of Aliens. Alien 3, maybe not so much. Resurrection, 100% the ending idea of Alien Romulus. So it's kind of just like, I agree with you. It's a been there, done that. It plays like a greatest hits of the entire franchise. So like, if you're into like the really heavy fan service, like things like that, you're probably going to love this movie. But for me, while I was entertained and it was highly enjoyable, and I do want to watch it again at the moment, that is like one of my biggest gripes is it's just like, it falls into that category of like modern horror sequel. Where it's just that formula. Yeah, modern horror legacy sequel formula, just without, Ripley showing up in the movie.
Yeah, that is one of my biggest problems with it, as well as cinematic necromancy. I'm never a fan. I just don't support that as a principle in and of itself. When an actor has passed away, I do not agree with CGIing their likeness and forcing them to act and say things. It's just creepy to me. It's a weird practice. I don't support it. And
it looked bad. It looked bad too.
It looked bad, and I don't even like digital de-aging or like the whole Hayden Christensen or the Luke Skywalker thing. I just do not like the Uncanny Valley CGI face Grand Moff Tarkin thing. Yeah. And unfortunately, that was in this movie as well.
Yep. So that's kind of how we feel about it. No spoilers. So let's just talk spoilers now, Justin. I feel like it is time. So if you have not seen Alien Romulus and you want to watch it, now would be the time to abandon ship. But we appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for hanging out with us for over 2 hours.
Yep.
But we are going to spoil the movie at this point. So spoilers for Alien Romulus. If you want to see it, head out. See you, Mr. Coffee. Appreciate everyone watching. But so yeah, Justin, I guess let's just dive in to the movie itself. Mainly, I think, like I was saying, it is highly entertaining. The performances are pretty good all around. Andy was a highlight as a synthetic. I thought his acting was fantastic. The switch between, I guess you could say, like dumb and smart Andy, what was really nice and interesting.
Yeah.
And I feel like that performance like was really strong. And once again, it's like, why is the android the coolest character?
Yeah. I think the set design was amazing too.
Yeah.
Like I like
Truly.
all of like the retro futuristic technology, like just down to like the screens and the text that appears, and like the world that they're on feels like just dirty and dark and just a really lived in world, not
Yeah.
polished, gritty.
I thought the beginning of the movie was like super dark and depressing, and I was just like imagining living on like this mining colony where you're basically owned by a corporation, and you know, Rain is like, "Oh, I worked all my hours. I'm free to go." And they're like, "Yeah, just kidding. No, you're not."
It's like the Empire. It's like that arc of Andor.
But it was really
where they
cool
just give you a higher sentence.
to see something like that, because I feel like that kind of aspect has not been explored in any of the Alien movies.
Yeah,
Where, like Wayland Yutani as like a company, you know, like what they do.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool, and how it's like permanent darkness because there's so much pollution that they can't even see the sun.
Right.
And you know, the whole plot is basically they're trying to get the like fuel for, what is it, cryogenic sleeping.
The cryogenic pods, so they need the cryo fuel.
Yeah, so that's basically the premise. Is there's a ship or like a space station that is like orbiting, and they find out that it's abandoned, so they want to go and see if they have basically this like chemical that they can steal, so they can travel to off-world and to a better planet.
Yeah,
because they can't legally travel. They're like contracted to stay on that mining planet.
And it takes 9 years to get to this next planet, so they have to do like the cryo sleep thing. So they're basically going to the station Romulus Remus to steal the cryopods and steal the cryo fuel as well, because they don't necessarily know they need the fuel at first, because they're just going to steal the pods. But then they get there and the pods don't have enough fuel in them. So
yeah. And of course, all your classic shenanigans ensue. It's infested by face huggers and
because they take the cryo fuel out, so then it starts thawing the face huggers, and that's the scene that is in the trailer. And
something in the water. Yeah. And the face huggers were, I'm going to say, a little more prevalent in this one.
Totally. I think this is like the only time we've ever seen them significantly.
Yeah. They're probably just as much as a threat as the xenomorphs that come later.
Which, shout out to how many of them were practical. Like
they looked like little remote control, like
they totally did, but I was fine with. I'm like, this is what I want.
I loved it. Yeah.
Because like the one scene where they're in like the dark hallway, you can totally tell like, oh, there's the little animatronic face hugger thing, which I'm like, that's fine. It's real. It's there. It's in camera. Looks infinitely better than any CGI ever will.
Mm-hmm. And they do attempt to connect it to Prometheus and Covenant, like the black goo.
That was crazy.
The black goo does return.
I did not expect them to tie it in to Prometheus or Covenant at all.
Right.
I kind of felt like they were intentionally going back to avoid that kind of era. Or I guess technically this would be going forward to avoid that era. But I did like seeing it. And again, that lends itself to how this movie plays into like a greatest hits of the entire franchise. You get the black goo, you get the alien human engineer hybrid at the end of the movie, just like in Alien Resurrection. You have multiple aliens, which again was a surprise, akin to Aliens, and you see like the cocoons and everything, just like in Aliens. And then of course, the end sequence is like just straight up the end of Alien, where she's in her underwear, then she's got to slip into the spacesuit so she can confront the xenomorph.
Yeah, and the highly divisive, like weird route that it took that a lot of people don't like is the body horror. It's like a split because there's a pregnant character and then she gets injected with the black goo. So then she gives birth to like this mongoloid, like just
It's a it's an
xenomorph human crossover.
right, and it looks like an engineer from Prometheus. Like the face
Yeah.
has like the dark eyes and like the profound nose.
Yeah.
So it again,
I liked it.
I liked it too because we saw this idea in Alien Resurrection where they're trying to crossbreed Ripley with an alien hybrid. But I like them revisiting the idea in this movie. I kind of felt like it was a little bit better executed this time around because it kind of fits in more with the general canon of the story with the engineers and the black goo and the origin of the xenomorph and everything like that.
And that's like people's main criticisms with it.
Which is
that third act. Whereas
I didn't even think it was all that out of place.
I think I was kind of zoning out, but that brought me 100. I started like munching on the popcorn again at that moment.
Well, yeah, because the movie
happens.
definitely plays like it's winding down.
Yeah.
And I was almost like thinking while I was watching the movie, I was like, Justin said the third act was crazy, but I was like, the movie seems like it's ending.
Yeah.
So then it picks up into that final 15-ish minutes with the hybrid alien.
Yeah. And I like that. It was like some straight up body horror, cosmic, like.
Yeah, it was gross.
Yeah.
It was definitely gross.
It definitely worked for me. And then another sequence I really loved was, of course, the zero gravity. Like, that was a cool concept that I've never seen before in the franchise. And
yeah,
like,
the zero G stuff was interesting. And I also really liked how they brought it back to, you can't really shoot the xenomorph because the acid's going to bleed through the ship and then we're all going to die.
Yeah. So, and then it was zero gravity, and then they had to like swerve away from it because there's just so much blood. Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, that's fun, creative. I've never seen that before.
Yep.
Of course, it leads to probably my biggest eye roll moment of the film is, of course, we had to get away from her, you bitch. Quote,
Yep.
which I just hate.
So bad.
I hate callback dialogue because my mind, when I'm watching a movie, I just can't help but think logically, like, that character wouldn't know that sequence of dialogue because they didn't see that movie.
Right.
This is like a universe. We're in universe. We're not in a universe where they're quoting the movie.
Right. It was
So they wouldn't know that sequence of dialogue. So I hate callback dialogue like that. It's just like, get to the choppers.
Yep.
In The Predator, which that movie's dog shit anyway, but still, it's like,
Alien Romulus is better than that.
yeah. So those few moments, and then there's the moment where it was also a 1-to-1 to Aliens when the character is explaining to Kaylee Spaney how the pulse rifle works, and it was like the exact same sequence
Right.
of dialogue, and I'm like,
Yeah, there was definitely, I honestly think the most controversial thing is Ian Holm as Rook, returning as a CGI nightmare monster, which, again, like we always talk about, it's like, you're telling me there is not a person on this earth that looks like Ian Holm from Alien 1979 that they could have just cast in this movie?
Or they could have just made it a different,
Right,
like,
or they could have made
synthetic.
Lance Hendrickson is still alive. Why couldn't it have been that series of android? Like, why did it have to be the like Ash Rook,
Yeah.
Series? And they named him Rook because, get it? It's like Bishop, chess pieces.
Yeah. How did you feel about Big Chat's fate in the Alien franchise?
I was kind of shocked that they even acknowledged like Big Chap at the beginning, and
Yeah.
like that he was basically like fossilized out in space, and they found him and brought him back, and somehow he revived. And I mean, at the end of the day, he's not really any more special than any other xenomorph. So in
True.
theory, he should be able to die just
That's
like any other
true.
Xeno. But yeah, seeing him up there fried, I was like, that's my boy.
That's our boy Big Chat.
But I do also, I'm kind of like, can I see that movie?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of want
Because
to
at the beginning of the movie, they kind of like, was that them finding?
Yeah, because it's
him?
the Nostromo. They find him around the wreckage of the Nostromo, which I was kind of like, wait a minute, he's ejected from the airlock. Why would he be that close to? But that's besides the point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's what it's implying, and he is the alien that's in that fossil, like thing, rock. So.
Yeah.
I do want to say, just on the subject of the xenomorphs, shout out to all the practical effects, the costumes. You could tell so many times that the Xeno was a real either creature, puppet, guy in a costume, which I'm always major thumbs up anytime there's practical effects. And I think the alien looked great in this movie. I liked that you saw like the main one, and it had like the little electricity in his head. Mm-hmm. I think they call him Scorch. That's what the figure is called. Scorched xenomorph or something like that.
Yeah. I think the only other negative I could say is like, I didn't care for most of the characters.
Right. Which again, I feel like when it comes to the Alien franchise, typically the cast is pretty likable.
Yeah, like Alien, I at least cared about everyone, so when they're in peril, there's just more stakes. And like Aliens, I mean, how could you not like pretty much the whole cast?
Right. It's all likable, characters. Alien 3 so, but Alien Resurrection has like a crazy good cast, like Ron Perlman, Winona Ryder. I even think the actor that plays Tuco Salamanca is in Alien Resurrection. I'm pretty sure he's in there too.
Yeah.
So it's got like a good, likable. I even like the cast of Prometheus. You got Logan Marshall Green, Michael Fassbender, Charlize Theron, Idris Elba. So like the Alien movies typically have like a pretty likable cast of characters. But I do agree with you. Besides Andy, Rain, and Rain's ex, I was like, all of these they could all die. Because
one of them was pregnant, and one of them was just a dick.
Right.
One of them...
It's just kind of like, it was like your typical slasher movie cast of characters.
Yeah.
Where there are always those characters where you're like, yeah, I can't wait for him to, like, the obnoxious British guy. Immediately, you're like, why is he being so mean to Andy? I want him to die.
Yeah. Which they do give a reason for it.
Right, but still, it's just like, come on.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it for my negatives. I think for positives, like I said, it was very atmospheric, and every YouTube channel has said this, but it's like a return to roots. It's a return to form.
It totally is.
Which
it's a very safe Alien movie.
Yeah, but they killed it on the set design because that original Alien, the walls look like it starts training your eye to look for the xenomorph in every shot because there's so many pipes and tubes like on the walls.
Right.
So they replicated that really well. Very nice dark atmosphere tone. Just a very beautiful looking movie as well.
Yep.
Well
shot.
Yeah, it is a lot of the same, but there were enough sequences where I felt like it differentiated itself.
I would agree with you, and I think overall the movie was just really entertaining. It doesn't need to be that deep when it comes to Alien. So I was thoroughly entertained. I enjoyed watching the movie despite some of the flaws in how it's essentially kind of like the Rogue One of the Alien franchise, where it just has a lot of remember this or that. But I do agree with you. There are plenty of new, fresh moments that felt good. There was good tension in the movie. It's not particularly scary, but good tension, some good kills, good practical effects, nice brisk pace.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I will
right.
be right back.
All right.
You answer this question.
Okay. I don't know where David is. I really don't know what their plan is, because obviously they're abandoning that storyline. I think it's pretty much well documented that Disney was just kind of like, you know, in a position where they just wanted to like cut ties with that and do their own thing, which makes sense. And when you see this movie, it makes sense because it's just, again, a very typical, and not in a bad way, but it's a very standard, typical Alien movie. It's nothing crazy. It doesn't reinvent the wheel, which obviously I think would probably be the safest bet, considering I think they said that Covenant underperformed. So I don't know if we'll ever see where David goes, but I really don't care because I thought Alien Covenant was bad. No, he just had to go to the bathroom. And thanks for the super chat again, Brian. Appreciate you. Fig says the sound for it in my theater shook the seats. It was epic and added a ton to the experience. Nice. And I do agree with you there, Darth Trev. I liked how the old tech looked to mimic the feel of OG Alien, but then you had some cleaner stuff like Rain's spacesuit at the end that was the same as Prometheus. Exactly. It did a good job, giving you every bit of the franchise. It didn't just focus on the original movies. It didn't just focus on the Prometheus stuff. So, like I was saying earlier, like if you're a fan of the Alien franchise, chances are you're going to have a good time with this movie. There's something for everyone in terms of Alien.
I like how aggressive the face huggers were.
Yeah. And they're scary.
Face huggers
and gross.
Right, because like if you think about it, they're almost as scary as the xenomorphs.
Yeah.
And it really lends itself to like what's a word for it that I can say on YouTube? Like one of the main themes of Alien is like sexual. Like
right.
the Xenos are phallic for a reason, and a lot of the set design is phallic. Like the ships, the engineer ships. I mean, It's a penis, and it goes hand in hand with another theme of like unwanted pregnancy and like sexual assault. Right. And like seeing that face hugger thing go down that dude's throat, I'm like, ugh.
The face hugger weenie, and you're like,
just like the unwanted pregnancy. The thing literally impregnates you, and then it bursts out of your body. Like that is terrifying. That is one of the most terrifying elements of the entire Alien franchise, and it's really highlighted in this one. And I like that the face huggers were just as in the movie as the Xenos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I feel like while I had higher hopes for the movie just based on Fede Alvarez's track record, I still walked away entertained. And I do want to watch the movie again. I feel like I will enjoy it more on the second time now that I know what to expect. But I don't know if I'll be picking this one up on Blu-ray or anything like that, unless it's on like a sale. I think this for me would be like a wait for a sale pickup.
Yeah, because believe it or not, guys, I liked Covenant when it came out, and I still don't mind it. And it's one of those movies where I acknowledge and even agree with everyone's criticisms. I'm like, yep, you are correct. That is a fair criticism. I agree with it, but I somehow, some way, just don't mind it.
Right.
And I picked that one up on 4K. So I feel like if I have the whole franchise at this point, but I also agree, I just don't know if I'd ever get the urge to rewatch. But then the day or so that has passed, I think it's growing on me a bit more. The more I let it stew.
Mm-hmm.
But it is more of the same. I don't know.
Yep.
I would definitely give it a shot and watch it in the theater, but yeah, I don't know if I would get it on Blu-ray. If we're going by like the Jeremy Johns.
Well, I'm not even going by that. I'm just going by us
I know.
personally as Blu-ray collectors.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it was funny because that's like one of his
You're right.
rankings.
I hate Jeremy Johns, though. I can't stand his reviews.
Interstellar is just a movie with a bunch of pit stops in space. Drive is boring because there's only 2 heists.
Yeah, he's...
Yeah.
I'm not down with his normie-ass opinions. It's fine if you like his videos.
Me neither.
Though. It's fine if you like them.
Yeah.
Not for me. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd pick it up on Blue. I just don't know.
Seems
I
like
picked up Civil War.
Seems like a perfect Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
Movie. I picked up although like what is Black Friday for Blu-rays even going to look like this year?
Yeah, cuz Best Buy was our go-to spot for Black Friday, Blu-ray, physical media stuff.
And
I mean, Walmart has done Black Friday physical media stuff.
yeah. I
don't know. Maybe just online.
Yeah. But I picked up Furiosa on 4K as a tribute for not seeing it in theaters. I felt bad. And so I was like, I'm just going to buy it on 4K. Mm-hmm. Did you go see that movie? Did you see Furiosa?
I never did. I wanted to.
Yeah, me too. But I
just never did.
Bad timing, I guess.
This is also very random, but we're about to end the stream anyway. But Lucy and I started watching The Boys.
Okay.
And it's been very addicting, and it's been very fun.
Paige and I have been considering it because we're trying to think of a show to watch right now since House of Dragon's over, Acolyte is over. So we're kind of like in the mood for a new show, but I think we're going to watch Daredevil cuz she's never seen Daredevil.
Yeah. I've been watching The Boys, and it's very funny on a certain political level. And I feel like it makes fun of a particular group of people that it's just funny to see.
Everything I've seen from it looks awesome. It's definitely high on my list of stuff I want to watch.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you'd watch it because it's superheroes.
But it's like the invert. It's like how Red Letter Media describes it. It's like for people who are sick of Marvel movies. It's like for the people who are sick of the superhero archetype. And I mean, I know you know what it is, but for the sake of the stream, like obviously it's like if Superman was a dick. Like,
right.
It's if Superman was bad. And I like it because the superheroes are treated like celebrities and like politicians. There's like a whole brand to it.
I was going to say they have like brand deals and like crazy stuff like that.
Yeah. And it's there's a lot of social commentary that is just hilarious. And it's kind of controversial with the 4th season. I haven't watched the 4th season, but apparently they take things too far, Nate.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah, so that's kind of what sparked my interest is people are like, they're making fun of me. I'm like, well, I kind of want to watch this now.
And then it turns out they were making fun of them the whole time.
Oh, yeah, like, there are so... Because I'm looking for it. Like, I'm watching the show for the first time, and I'm looking for it.
Right.
And I'm just noticing it so much more. So if you're well-versed in, like... even stuff as far back as, like... This isn't a spoiler, but Homelander gives a speech after a tragedy, and it's literally like a 1-to-1, like, George W. Bush speech. And I feel like that would go over a lot of people's heads. So I'm like, maybe all this stuff was there the whole time. You just weren't noticing it.
Right.
At first.
Could always, I mean...
But yeah,
as we discuss often on this channel, media literacy is fucking dead. So
right, no, it's never been subtle, and obviously they heavily lean into that, which is why I can accept it for what it is, because that's what it is. It is not subtle in the slightest for its politics and social commentary, and I would definitely give it a watch. Okay. And it's just. I mean, Carl Urban, you're going to watch it, and you're going to be talking like Carl Urban's character in it. I just know. I'm like, that's a Nate impression. Like he's gonna watch this and he's gonna start talking like Billy Butcher.
You're gonna hear me. Doesn't he say oi a lot or something?
Yeah. Oi, Huey.
Yeah. Oi.
Homelander. Yeah.
Oi. Yeah. I definitely want to check it out for sure.
Yeah. It's a fun time. It's
Nice.
a fun time. But that's my new thing that I've been similar. It's funny, we both had the same thought. I'm like, dang, Sunday nights.
Yep.
Nothing.
We got nothing.
No
like,
House of the Dragon.
Tonight we're gonna watch Furiosa. So thankfully, we got something to do on the docket for a Sunday night.
We've been binging, so we're on season 3 already, and there's only 4 seasons now.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Nice.
That's been fun. That's my review. That's my bonus review for The Boys, at least up to season 3. Is I think it's relatively brilliant. I think it's kind of crazy coming from Amazon too. Because I'm like, just the subtext is very rich coming from Amazon. Because like the whole thing is like a big mega corporation and they're shady and they like abuse their power. And
so it's basically like Amazon in real life, and they're like,
yeah, like, huh?
What if we had a show where we're the bad guys?
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. That kind of makes me want to watch it a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But Daredevil Born Again is right around the corner, so.
True, and Daredevil's just a great show. Yeah, Best Marvel thing since the Raimi trilogy?
Yeah, probably.
Like, Daredevil is excellent. Excellent.
It's peak. Just the other day, I was rewatching some of the Punisher episodes, and I was just like, oh my god, this is
I'll see you around, Red. Yeah, the whole
like,
rooftop
this is
scene.
so stupid good.
It's like philosophical.
All right, it like is actually saying something, and it has 2 interesting characters that are primarily known for just like beating the shit out of people, but they're actually like really interesting and well developed. So you want to hear them just talk to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. Character development's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just excellent.
Nice.
Love it.
Well, yeah, so I suppose we could end it here, brother.
Yeah, for sure. Solid 2.5 hour. Did a little Q&A.
Yeah.
Did a little racing pickups.
Man, we padded it out, bro. We did just fine.
Yeah, we did. I heard we moved on from the garbage. Let's talk about Sonic.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord.
I've not seen a single Sonic live action movie.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about Minecraft.
Let's go. I was playing the other day. Found the cherry blossom biome. Hadn't played since Cherry Blossom update.
Whoa.
So that was very beautiful to see. I was like, wow, this is pretty. It's peaceful. It's relaxing.
Oh, it's just like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, there is a small 1% part of me that wishes the Black Series would end so we can actually start them. It's like I always say that idea, and now I want it to happen. I'm like, you know what? I do want the Out of the Basement realm.
Right.
I want the Out of the Basement world. Damn it. But I just know, like, I just don't have enough time to game.
Yeah.
If we didn't do YouTube, I'd probably game a lot more. Because we dedicate a lot of time to this thing.
That is true. I will say, Mr. Coffee, I am happy that Deadpool is now the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, because I just despise the Joker so much that the fact that it got dethroned, even by something like Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm like, you know what? Good.
Which, the surprise of the century is I had fun with Deadpool.
That genuinely shocked me when you were like, you know what, bro?
I think it's because it's like I took my medicine before watching, which is I spoiled every single cameo. I looked at every single surprise, reveal, cameo, fun haha thing on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like all the classic characters and everything. And so when they happened, it's like I'd already seen it and I already knew it was coming. So it wasn't like it's like I just accepted it for what it was.
Yeah, Justin's picking up the whole wave.
No, I'm not going to go that far, brother, but I was able to have fun with it, I think, because I spoiled every single thing.
I'm glad you had fun. I was bored for 95% of the movie. Just straight up sitting there. Just
I mean, I'll probably never watch it again.
I liked seeing Blade, and I liked seeing Gambit. That was fun. Blade is
What about
cool.
Elektra?
I mean, that was fine. But I think it would have been even more hype if it was Ben Affleck Daredevil. Or if they would have given Elektra her red costume from the second Elektra movie.
I've actually never seen those.
Or the one that's just called Elektra, I should say. It's not the second Elektra movie.
But I agree with you about Joker being dethroned, because the Joker is king of like the
with Joker.
I love there's a joke in The Boys where Homelander is watching Taxi Driver, and I'm just like, yes, because it's like Taxi Driver, Joker, Rick and Morty, like, or what's another one? What's it? Come on, think.
I don't know.
But Joker is always one where people think it's like the smartest movie to ever come out because of the social commentary.
Right.
And I'm like, the social commentary in Joker is not subtle, though.
It beats you on the head.
Like, they spell out what the movie is saying. And they're just like, you don't get it, man. It's about society.
Yeah.
And how the working class, the rich just don't care about them. It doesn't matter if you're mentally ill or if you're the social worker. They're both treated like dirt under the man.
When she's literally like,
yeah,
they don't care about you and they don't care about me.
And then she looked into the camera and said, me, the social worker, the working class. Yeah. They don't care about me either.
Like, what?
And then the ending dialogue, what do you get? And then he just like spells out the themes of the film. I'm like, yikes. And people think that scene is like, yo, that's peak, man. That's peak.
Right. Like it's some like fucking deep. Ugh. Yeah. I was just.
Oh, dude. Oh my God. Dang it. American Psycho 2, where people think Patrick Bateman is the good guy. And that, like, all these memes and edits come out. That's like the thing. People are thinking like, yeah, it's badass over like that's psychotic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so people think like, I don't know. It happens with the Sopranos a lot too, where like the wrong characters are getting idolized.
Right.
Where it's like, people think Patrick Bateman is like badass, but it's like American Psycho is making fun of that toxic masculinity and like the stock bro, which modern day it would be like the crypto bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like the movie is making fun of people like that.
No.
Like the dude bro, the stock bros, like they are making fun of you, brother.
No.
But they think he's like this super cool, awesome character. So, and people do it with Homelander too. Whereas if you're an actual human being, like Homelander is a psychotic, like he is like batshit insane. But yes, you are exactly right. It's Joker, Taxi Driver, Rick and Morty. And yes, like people do that with The Boys as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is why, like, with the new season, which I haven't watched yet, but they think, like, the show is turning on them. Mm. And I'm like, they were probably making fun of you the entire time. You just didn't realize it because it's funny.
It was actually the whole time.
It's like, masked by the comedy that's in it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you're on the money with that. Rick and Morty, same thing. It pisses me off. I've never even seen a single episode, and I never will because the fan base turned me off with the whole, like, your IQ needs to be at a certain level for you to understand the humor. It has a lot of excellent science fiction humor. I'm like, he turned himself into a pickle, dog. Like,
it's funny.
What are you talking about?
It's like Back to the Future, bro. Don't you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But anyways, tangents aside, I guess we could go ahead and actually end the stream now. This week we'll probably have a Black Series banger out We will for sure. We will for sure. I'll definitely get one out.
Is there a hint? Because I don't even know.
I don't have a hint near me.
Okay.
No hint, but it'll probably be out on Tuesday. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, though, figure it out as always for our content this week. Justin, you got anything in the books?
I got... What do I have? What do I even have?
You have a banger.
Oh! We have the previously recorded episode. Yeah, I forgot that's what I'm doing. Last Tuesday, I had an idea for a very long episode of Figure It Out. Mm-hmm. And it's just such a big topic that I knew the video was going to be super long. So I asked Nate if he'd be down to record this episode a week early. So instead of like going to Nate's after work on Tuesday like I normally do, I'm just going to fly straight home so it's like a behemoth. Mm-hmm. But it's a very important video. And there's no like, it's basically just Nate and I spitballing and talking. So it's just one of those talking episodes. But I think people are going to like it. And there's some hot takes in there. There's some. True. I already know we're gonna get some comments.
There's about to be some essays for real.
So, because I wanted to give us some time to like shoot some B-roll for it, and just it's a yapping episode for sure. I wanted to get some good photos and just get some good B-roll footage and yeah.
I think we did. It's. I'm excited to see the video and yeah, did my B-roll video did that look fine through the Gmail? Have you looked at that at all?
I didn't look at it yet.
You should test it out so we can make sure it looks decent. Because there are some videos, a couple of short videos I sent you in the Gmail. Do.
Child's Play yapping compared to Monday Night Figure Out. You are right.
That is true. If
we said half of the shit that you guys say on a lazy Sunday, I feel like we'd get some comments.
Yeah, what the be a lot of that.
Yeah, but I will be working on that this week, and I think like we already have a nice idea for the thumbnail, and I'm like so excited. I'm just so excited for it. So that'll be a good one.
It will
for sure.
I'm
excited. And it'll go up early for channel membership, Basement Battalion specific.
Hey, Basement Battalion specific.
But I am gonna do. I'm 100%. This is 100%. I'm gonna do a new collection video too.
You heard it here live
because mine was 2023.
Ooh.
So I gotta do a 2024 one.
I mean,
because we gotta milk it. Because entire collection videos bring so many new people to the channel.
Yep, they bang. They definitely bang.
Ooh.
I think we said ooh at the same thing. Monday Night Figure Ball is going to have Tangy Fungus on. Very cool. I like good old Tangy. And I like Monday Night Figure Ball.
Good old Tangy.
Yeah, good old Tangy.
Milk that algorithm. You already know. It's
no
surprise that one of Tommy's first videos on his new channel is an entire collection video. One of the best things to do as a new channel.
Galaxy brain move right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so be sure to stay tuned for all of that. But we hope you enjoyed the stream. It was nice to see everyone on this fine Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
But for now, we will be signing off. I'm Nate. I've been joined with Justin.
See you guys later.
And we will see you all next time on Out of the Basement.